What is up, fight fans, and welcome to MMA Weekly's live coverage of the fight of the century so far in boxing. That's right, I said it, the fight of the century. It is the trilogy, number 3, between Tyson Fury, the world heavyweight champion, and Deontay Wilder. This one is to settle it all. Of course, they had the split draw in the first fight, and in the second fight, Tyson Fury with a dominating victory. And tonight, they settle it all, once and for all, in the ring at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. MMA Weekly's cameras have been there all week, and tonight we come to you live with a special reaction show right here on the MMA Weekly YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like, follow us all night long in the chat, ring the bell so you know exactly when we are coming your way with more programming. As always, I'm Jim Greasehaber, your host. Call me Grease, and I am pleased to be joined tonight. I can say please is a mild word. This is my boy right here. We've called fights together on national TV for Roy Jones Jr. Boxing Promotions. At one point in time, one of the biggest prospects, and I mean literally and figuratively biggest prospects in the sport of boxing, former heavyweight champion David Nino Rodriguez is with me live here tonight. DR, here we are. The team's back together, and we got a big fight starting in about 45 minutes to an hour. Fury Wilder 3 in Vegas.
Yeah, you know, this is a little bit of a different atmosphere. Last time we were live in the action. Jim, you and I were up close and personal with the fighters, and this time we're doing it over our interface here, so it's a little different for me. But all the same, you know, just the same, it's going to be a good time. I can't wait to see this heavyweight matchup. Listen, it's I believe we're going to see a devastating knockout either way. Anything can happen when you're fighting. Look, I've told you before, Jim. I've told you many times. I think Fury is going to pull this off, but you're rolling the dice when you're fighting a guy like Deontay Wilder with that cobra right hand.
And I'll tell you what, you've put a lot of people to sleep with your right hand in your day, so you know what that's all about, having that devastating weapon and something that really Tyson Fury neutralized completely in fight number 2. Fight number 1, Fury got knocked down twice, including that one time in the 12th round when, man, his eyes were rolled back in his head. I'm thinking to myself, there is no way this dude's getting up, and he had dominated that fight. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but Fury had dominated that fight. And then Wilder did what he had done to so many other fighters before him. He just put Fury right on his ass, rolled his eyes back in his head. Somehow, as the count hits 7, 8, Tyson Fury gets up. Not only does he get up, he has his wits about him, convinces the ref not to stop the fight, and actually ends up regaining control toward the end of the round and the end of the fight. So, to me, the most impressive thing I've seen Tyson Fury do in his career was get up from that shot that nobody else has gotten up from. But also the way that he came on in the second fight and just dominated Deontay Wilder, completely neutralizing that right hand, completely taking it away from him. Didn't have a prayer in that fight, the way that Fury kept the distance, the way that he neutralized him with the jab, the way that he stopped Wilder. I was amazed Wilder couldn't just circle away. Fury put a beating on him in that second fight. And that was really impressive to me. I didn't think Wilder would lose like that. And that set off a complete panic from Deontay Wilder. The suit he wore out to the ring. He fires Mark Breland, his trainer, a legendary fighter and trainer in his own right. He blamed everything but the moon and the stars for that loss. But what happened there is Fury got in his head because even though the first one was a draw, right? Wilder got, in most people's eyes, dominated that fight. But in his mind, he didn't lose that fight, which he didn't. So he had never tasted defeat before. But not only was he beaten in that second fight, he was completely dominated and stopped in that second fight. Whether it's cornered through in the towel or not, that fight was going to get stopped either way. And the way that he was finished, the way that he was beaten, the way that he was demoralized in that fight completely changed his whole entire outlook, his team, his training, every single thing coming into this trilogy fight.
Yeah, and you know, he's been, you know, like Tyson says, he's been living rent-free in his mind for 2 years. And you got to remember, when someone like Deontay changes everything up, puts on 20 pounds of muscle. I don't care what anyone says. Muscle, you know, the day you have to bring a bench press into the ring is when you should worry about muscle, okay? And
so the 350 means nothing to you. The 350 bench and the extra muscle.
Boxing. This is
right?
Boxing. And when you're bringing in, when you're coming in with 20 pounds of muscle, I want to see how he's going to fare in the mid rounds. When the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th rounds come, that muscle takes oxygen to pump. You when you're fighting and you're used to having zip on that right hand, you're used to having a lethal, quick, fast right hand. That muscle restricts that movement. I'm betting that we're going to start seeing, if he doesn't get Tyson out of there in the third or fourth, or first, second, third, or fourth, we're going to start seeing push with that right hand more, I believe, in the sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth rounds. And I think, and I honestly believe Tyson's just going to keep the pressure on him like he did the second round, like he did the second fight. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So I think he's going to keep the pressure on Deontay. And I think ultimately Deontay's muscles, in my opinion, could have an effect on being lethargic in the mid to late part of the fight.
Wow, that's crazy. And not crazy that you're saying that, but just crazy to think about what an effect it could have on Wilder, who started to look tired, DR, in the second round of the second fight. He looked a step slower. Remember, he had the cut above his ear, even said he had a fractured skull in that fight. So there was, so as you see, our guy Ray Flores, one of my good buddies in the boxing game, up there with Deontay Wilder. He's up there all over the coverage this week. But DR, when I think about what Deontay Wilder did for this fight, one of the things that he talked about, and I understand what you're saying, believe me, and there's no substitute for the experience you bring and knowing exactly the effect that's going to have on Wilder. But when he talks about how Fury's not going to lay on him and push him around and get up in his face and use that brute strength the way that he did, how much do you put into that kind of talk from Wilder in terms of not being kind of bullied and leaned on the way he was by Fury?
When you're fighting a tall guy like Fury, like when I used to fight, I used to love to fight really tall guys because I could slip, move. You got to use their weight against them. You're not going there to play football. You're not going in there to hit each other like linemen. Okay. I feel like Tyson has gotten into Deontay's head. I think he's got out of his normal regimen and decided to go with something different. I'm putting a lot of muscle mass. I think that's a whole different type of thing that Deontay's ever done before. And if I was Tyson Fury, I would know that Deontay, in the back of his mind, knows that he got manhandled that second fight, and now he's trying something completely different with packing on all that muscle, which I think ultimately will be his detriment. And I'm just going to be honest with you on that one.
Okay, all right, yeah, and that's something that we're going to get into a little bit more as this fight gets closer. Go ahead, DR.
You know, and I say this over and over, heavyweight boxing is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. These guys are over 200 pounds. They hit you once, it could be good night. You know, it could be good night. So I'm not counting Deontay out. Deontay is an explosive fighter, but I'm just saying it concerns me to see all that muscle on him. And also what's going on up here mentally where he think he didn't have enough the second fight.
And to fire one of his trainers in Mark Breland, completely reconstruct his team, redo his training. And here, I'll play devil's advocate with you because this is something I look for. I've been covering sports in general for 25 years and, combat sports exclusively for the last 12, including working boxing on national TV with you, which was an education. But anytime I see an athlete of that kind of caliber, an undefeated athlete, a killer who not only had never lost, he had basically beaten the crap out of anyone he'd ever got in the ring with. I mean, look at all the knockouts he had. What was it, 36 knockouts? And most of them were in the first round. You know from experience when you lost for the first time after you knocked almost everybody out, what that does to you. So I'm curious, in Wilder's case, and you saw all the changes he made, is he going to be Michael Jordan losing to the Pistons all that time before he could finally get over the hump, beat them, go on and win the 6 titles? Or is it the opposite where you get in your own head and you realize, crap, I'm not unbeatable, and you lose that once unshakable confidence, kind of like Buster Douglas did to Mike Tyson?
This is where we're going to see if greatness is born. I'm expecting to see Tyson Fury pull this off, okay? But if Deontay pulls this off, then he's going to go down as a great, great fighter, even more so than Fury, in my opinion, if Deontay can pull this off with a spectacular knockout. Now, like I said before, in that last fight, they were, Deontay got completely manhandled and he blamed everybody but himself. He fired people. He even said that Fury was cheating. There was something in his gloves. To me, that's
his walkout suit was too heavy.
Yeah, right? I mean, everything. He had every excuse in the book except for, hey, I got my ass whooped. And
right,
the sooner he can deal with that. And tonight he may have to deal with that even. He may have to look in the mirror after tonight and realize, like, hey, my time is done. Because I just think coming in here with all that muscle, I'm telling you, I've boxed my entire life, and muscle's only good for flexing, Jim. In the boxing ring.
He looks really good. I mean, I'm not going to lie, he looks
Yeah.
really good, but I understand exactly what you're saying. It's not the muscle that wins the fight. And you're also talking about the oxygenation, man. It uses more, it burns more oxygen, and you get tired quicker when you have more. And we see it all the time in MMA DR2 with the leaner, lankier fighters sometimes having better cardio, like a Nate Diaz, for example, who almost looks skinny in there and wiry, but his cardio against the guys who are super muscular, they tend to burn out a little bit faster. When I think about Wilder and that power, though, I mean, obviously, with the way that he's improved his focus in this training camp, they had to have spent most of the time working on that right hand because that's how he wins fights and that's how he's going to beat Tyson Fury. That's how he laid him out in the first fight a couple of times, right? So what can Wilder do, especially early in the fight, to change that tone a little bit, to back Fury off him, to stop Fury from setting that dominating, aggressive tone early in the fight? And what can he do to have a better shot of landing that right hand in this fight, which really he had no shot. It was completely neutralized by Fury in the second fight.
Deontay has got to dictate the pace early and show Tyson that he's not going to be bullied. That's just as simple as it gets. He's got to show up really. He's got to show up in the center of the ring, dictate the pace, work his angles, work his levels, which is jab to the body, jab to the head, and make sure. And when he jabs to that body, come with that overhand right to the head. You got to, because that's his bread and butter. Everyone knows it. Is that right hand followed up by the hook? That's how he got him the last time. And if he works his levels with the jab to the head, jab to the body, he can open Fury up for that right hand over the top.
Yeah, and that's a lot easier said than done. Tyson Fury is a great boxer, man. And when you look at his record and you look at the guys who have done really well against Fury, the last two who have pushed him, I mean, the Otto Wallen fight was, I mean, that was crazy. Tyson had the big cuts under his eyes, and it looked for a while there. I mean, he was in survival mode for sure in that fight. So he's been through the wars, and when Deontay knocked him down twice, he's been through those moments where it looked like he was about to lose everything, where it was all on the line. He was there in the Klitschko fight, which was a unanimous decision win for him against Vladimir Klitschko. So he's been in those positions where he's had to battle back through that adversity, which Deontay has obviously really not. So what is it about Fury that gives him those intangibles, that gives him that ability? Not only is he a really good boxer, and we know it's a science, it's a sweet science. This is not in there, that even though they're heavyweights, this is not a brawl. Even though Wilder's got the devastating right hand, he didn't just do it in a brawler's fashion in all those 41 knockouts. But what is it that makes Tyson Fury such a good boxer? And what is it about his makeup that he's able to overcome in there some big-time beatings where he's out on his feet, he's wobbling, it might even look like he might not even get up, and he's able to push through that and find a way to win?
Because some fighters, Jim, love adversity and they love being up against the ropes. They love the best. They love having the best being drawn out of them. That makes them a better boxer. And then there's fighters like Deontay and myself. I can say I was one of them. Where we're so used to ending the fight with one shot in spectacular fashion that we tend to get anxiety as the rounds go on when we start seeing that our shots are either not landing or they're not having the effect that we thought they were going to have, and that sets in panic, especially for punchers. A lot of punchers, panic sets in and anxiety sets in when you're not taking the fight when you're not taking the guys out. Someone like Fury is used to going the distance, used to going the rounds. He loves the challenge. He loves the adversity. He's born for this type of stuff. Big punchers and boxers, it's a matador against the bull. I'm just so excited about this matchup. I can't wait for this fight to start.
21 knockouts in 30 wins for Fury, and now a lot of those are on the way up, and you're going to knock those guys out regardless because you really need to get to where he's gotten to. But he beats Klitschko. They strip him of his title. I mean, he threw a monkey wrench into everybody's plans. The last few years with the heavyweights, DR, all we've heard about is now Fury wanted to fight Joshua, and now that Joshua just lost. I mean, there's so much turmoil. Joshua lost to Ruiz, won the rematch. Now he just lost again. Fury's fighting Wilder. He wanted to be fighting Joshua. They thought they were going to be doing that over the summer in the Middle East, which didn't end up working out. It's been crazy in boxing, especially in the heavyweight division the last 3 years, that we haven't seen all these guys fight one another. And now it seems like that ship has sailed and there's a new guard coming in. But what becomes of the winner of this fight tonight, man? The winner of this fight, is that still the undisputed king of the heavyweight division, regardless of the promotion? Or what are your thoughts there?
No doubt about it. I think the winner of this fight is the king of the mountain. And everyone needs to bow down to this king. I think that whoever wins this fight will be the top, the cream of the crop. And there'll be the A side. In boxing, there's the A side, the B side. They will be considered the A side. I think that Usyk or a Joshua fight. Obviously, Joshua has to fight Usyk. He has to come back and get his belts back.
He's got the rematch clause.
For anybody to even want to watch that fight. I've been watching Anthony Joshua, and it almost seems to me like he's fading mentally. Like he's starting to get lackadaisical in the ring. He doesn't have that hunger he used to have. I think he's been touched. That's an old saying in boxing, when you've been touched, it's like when you've been hit on the chin and you've experienced that knockdown a few times, it takes that fire out of you. And I think he's been touched. And I think he's gotten a little glove shy after the Ruiz fight. And I think, and I really believe that he's almost looking for a way out of boxing.
Wow, that's a bold statement, but when it happens, it's happened for almost everybody at one point in time or another. But Alexander Usyk with a really great performance against Anthony Joshua. Where do you see him in this whole mix? Do you see him as a guy who might fight Fury next, with Fury winning tonight?
If Fury wins tonight, the next fight has to be Usyk. It has to be.
Has to be, right?
It has to be, because
what if Wilder wins?
It has to be Usyk, because we have to unify all the titles now. It has to be.
Okay.
And that will be the biggest fight. But it has to be that. That's what boxing needs. That's what boxing craves. And that's what boxing wants. If you want to put boxing back out in the spotlight, in the forefront, you have to make these fights.
And boxing definitely needs to be back out there. It's a great sport. And, in recent years, the UFC and other combat sports have kind of passed it by a little bit. And you have some big fights coming up. You got Crawford and Spence coming up. I mean, that's a big one. You got Canelo and Caleb Plant with Benavidez kind of looking in from the outside there. And Benavidez has a big fight coming up in Phoenix. And, there's a lot of great fighters out there right now and a lot of big-time fights coming up. But boxing needs new stars. And DR, there's no bigger star than the heavyweight champion of the world, historically speaking, whether it was Rocky Marciano or Muhammad Ali, even especially Mike Tyson in his heyday. And even in the era of Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe and all those guys, we've been waiting for that for a long time. And it appears as though with his history, with his charisma, with what he's been so open about, with his mental illness, it seems as though if Fury's able to cap this trilogy with a dominating win, especially a finish of Deontay Wilder tonight, his star just keeps on climbing, and we need the heavyweight champion of the world to have that charisma, to have that star around him, to have that fire, to have the Drake. I saw Drake made a video for Tyson Fury today. I saw The Undertaker made a video for him. He's crossed over into that regular pop culture. He's now a phenomenon. With a win here tonight, he could become, and I think surpass Canelo as the biggest star in the sport.
Absolutely. The pulse of boxing depends on the heavyweight division, always has. And what we're seeing now is life being like a defibrillator, being brought back into the heavyweight division. And I think if Tyson wins this fight tonight, he only needs one more fight, and that's Usyk or Anthony Joshua, whoever wins that rematch. And that's it. And he can ride off into the sunset and do whatever he wants to do from there. If he wants to stick around in boxing, that's totally up to him. But if he beats Deontay tonight, all he needs is one more fight, and he can ride off into the sunset, and that's his legacy forever. He'll go down as one of the most spectacular heavyweight champions ever, and right there with Lennox Lewis. He'll be right there with Lennox Lewis. I always put Lennox Lewis as up there as one of the best heavyweights ever. I'd have to put Tyson Fury right up there with him.
But he's only 33,
if he gets by Deontay.
But he's only 33, right? So, I mean, don't we want to see him fight at least a few more fights and push it up there a little bit more?
I don't know. I mean, for me, the wheels started to fall off at 35. I don't know, man. I mean,
35 years old or 35 knockouts? Because I think you had 35 knockouts. If I'm not
right there with that, yeah, both. But I think I think bowing out gracefully, right on time. You got to know when to leave the sport, not let the sport leave you.
Oh yeah, isn't that? I mean, and no athlete ever seems to know that. That's why
No.
in the UFC with Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dana White was doing everything he could to get him to stick around. But it's very rare to see an athlete go out on top. Jordan hits the jumper to beat Utah in Game 6 after the bucket and then the steal from Karl Malone. Greatest sequence in the history of the NBA. But even he had to come back and play for the Wizards. Emmitt Smith had to go to the Cardinals. We're so used to seeing this, and now DR in an era where Bernard Hopkins fought into his 50s. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones just got back into the ring, and some godforsaken reason, people let Evander Holyfield get back in, and thank God they just stopped Riddick Bowe, because this nonsense could go on forever.
Because every great fighter believes they have one great fight left in them, and that's just how it's always going to be. I still feel like I have a great fight left in me, and I've had.
I was going to say you were talking about this a couple years ago, getting back in there one more time.
Yeah, but I mean, you always.
What's that mindset? Tell us about that mindset that you feel like you. I mean, just because no one's really been in the shoes of an elite athlete except an elite athlete. So what's that like when you kind of feel like you should be done, but something inside you is telling you that greatness is still there and you got to give it one more shot?
Well, for me, I had back surgery, so that took me out of the game completely. Otherwise, Jim, I probably would still be fighting. It's because it becomes part of your DNA. It's ingrained in you. You do it every day for 8 hours a day, 7 days, 6 to 7 days a week. It becomes a part of your life. It becomes it's your relationship. It's your wife. It's your marriage. It's everything to you. You know, a lot of these guys, even though they have wives and girlfriends, that's still on the back seat. That's in the back burner. First and foremost, your love is boxing, and it's only going to be as faithful to you as you are to it. And it's for you just to walk away from that and just say, okay, my time in here is done. It usually takes, and it's sad to say, but it usually takes a devastating loss for a lot of great fighters to just walk, to finally hang up the gloves. It usually takes an upset or something along those lines for a fighter to walk away, because you don't want to believe the last fight was your last fight. So you're going to keep going. And that's where I put the commission to blame on some of this. Like the commission should have never let Holyfield fight.
Oh, that was awful.
Holyfield's a 60-year-old man. He has no business in the ring. I believe, I don't know what it is, but in some states, a commission only lets people that, when you're over the age of 30 or 35, you have to take a CAT scan, an MRI. I mean, so to let Holyfield get in the ring at 60 years old was a sin. That was criminal.
Man, it really was. And it's sad just thinking about it. And the MMA community loved it with Vitor. But when you saw Tyson and Roy Jones get in there, and it might be different if you're fighting someone your own age, but I still don't think they should let them in there. I love the sport, and I think it's a sad state of affair. And I've said this before, so I want to get your thoughts on it on these shows where we've done the Jake Paul fights. And if that's the biggest fight in boxing, if that's the guy who's the biggest draw, or Roy Jones and Mike Tyson with Jake Paul on the card, if that's the biggest draw, then that's a complete disservice, man. Don King's gone. Bob Arum's 100 years old. Who knows what Al Heyman's doing? But where are the great promoters, man? Where's the Dana White / Vince McMahon of boxing? Where's that next guy who's going to create? And I love what Golden Boy did with Canelo. His fights have done really well. Floyd obviously gets huge numbers every time he fights, but he's completely done. He's fighting exhibitions now. He was smart enough to know when to walk away and stop fighting those big-time fights. Manny Pacquiao just retired. He's at the end of the line. How do we create stars out of guys like Spence and Crawford? You know what I mean? There's so many up-and-coming boxers who they're as good as any of the guys I've ever seen in my life. Maybe as we evolve, they might even be better. Where's that missing link, DR, when it comes to creating these stars in boxing to the point where it's Jake Paul or these Tyson Jones, fossil fights that are the biggest things in the sport?
Well, people want to be entertained, and unfortunately, that decides the market. The market decides their worth. And when someone like Jake Paul has a following of 30 million fans or whatever on YouTube and gets in the ring and can demand that, generate that kind of money, well, there's a market there for him. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. I look at that and I kind of feel like it's a mockery of boxing, but it is what it is, and we have to respect.
Well, you would have loved to be on the card, right, with that audience to show what you could do. yeah, it's a co-main.
But it's really up to the promoters now. It's really up to the promoters to make these big fights and promote them and market them the way they should be promoted and marketed.
Like Teofimo Lopez, bro. Look at him. They can't
Yeah,
sell his
I mean,
fights. They gave him all this money. They spent all this marketing dollars,
why?
and then they
But
just threw it
also,
away.
but you got to remember too, it's also about personality. Jake Paul
Right.
has a personality. He has a
Great
personality
personality.
that sells. That puts asses in the seats. And even though he's fighting the bum of the month club, he still has a personality. He's electric.
Right.
So that sells tickets, and especially for the YouTube crowd that doesn't know any better, then that's what they want to see. They want to see personalities. It's like the WWE, Jim. That
Yep.
sells tickets. Every
Well, let
day
me
that
ask you
sells
this
tickets.
then, because I know you, and you've told me in the past that you've worked out and you sparred with Nate and Nick Diaz. So what about this trend of MMA fighters, and especially retired MMA fighters, because Dana White won't let the guys under contract right now do it? What about these guys all of a sudden thinking they can be boxers when they're mixed martial artists?
Hey, there's a market for everything, man. I say go for it. I mean, I think there's always going to be someone who wants to watch it. There's always just don't overmatch them. You're not going to put an MMA fighter in with a world champion Canelo. You're not going to make that fight. There's levels to this, Jim. There's different levels to this. We know that Jake Paul is fighting a old and weathered Mayweather, and we know that Mayweather's days are over. He's not taking fights as seriously as he used to. So of course they're going to get in there and throw some punches and make it a spectacle. But the big fights like Canelo, the big names like Fury, they're the ones keeping boxing alive. The other stuff, people just need to know that's a sideshow.
Yeah, Canelo and Plant coming up, and there was some fireworks at the press conference. So Canelo's getting a little chippy these days, and Plant certainly brings out the best in that. That's David Rodriguez Nino, former undefeated heavyweight boxing superstar and champion, 35 knockouts in his career, and of course a boxing announcer, big YouTube star right now. Check him out. What's your YouTube again, DR, so everybody can go check it out?
It's David Nino Rodriguez on YouTube and Nino's Corner on Telegram.
There we go. So he's blowing up in this whole pandemic and everything that you have going on in your post-boxing career, motivational speaker, all sorts of things going on there. But a dangerous, dangerous man in your day in the ring. And, it's kind of funny. I felt like when we did fights on TV together, I had to stand on a box to make the camera shot even, And I'm 5'11". I'm not some midget over here, but this guy's a monster. So the size in that ring, when Wilder's been the biggest guy by far in almost every fight, and then all of a sudden he gets in there against Fury, and Fury's even what is it, 6'9" and 6'6" or 6'9" and 6'7"? But
6'9".
Fury's got a big height and
this.
reach advantage.
Think about this: 6'9", 277, and
Yeah.
agile. The guy can
Yep.
move.
Yep.
So and then 6'7", 238, and that guy can move.
40 pounds lighter though. 40 pounds is a big difference, man.
Well, okay. Let's put it this way: Holyfield wasn't a natural heavyweight. Deontay is barely a natural heavyweight. He's 217.
Right.
And now he's bulk. Tyson Fury is a giant of a man, and he's an athletic, agile man. For 6'9",
he's like an NBA player size, literally.
This is a freak show, man. And this is what's normal. Back in the 90s, this would have been a freak show. This is normal now. This is what heavyweights look like in 2021.
Yeah, look at the kid who just fought, man. Look at Efe Ajagba, just fought Frank Sanchez, just another 6'6" guy, and Sanchez at 6'4". These guys are just getting bigger and bigger, man. And when Fury's got a 70, I think what is it, 78-inch reach? I might be off on that.
I'm not
It's
sure
it's in the 80s. It's in the 80s, but he can jab you from across the ring. Yeah, he can jab you from across the ring, and that's what he did in large part in that second fight, keeping Wilder away, not letting him get in there to throw that right. But when you can throw your jab and it's like go gadget arm coming across the ring at you, I mean, what a weapon that is for him. And it's quick, and he throws it fast in succession too.
Well, the beautiful thing about boxing is not reach, Jim. It's timing. So if Deontay can time this guy, that's why I had such great success against taller fighters. I loved to fight taller fighters because I'd get inside and let my hands explode with combinations. Deontay is a very explosive fighter. If he can time Fury, he can get that knockout. But like I said, what's concerning is all the muscle mass. Putting 20 pounds on of pure muscle, bulked up muscle, to me is an indicator to me that he got manhandled the second fight, and it's weighing on his mind. It's sitting in his head. It's mentally taking space, and he did something completely out of character, something that he's never done before in the sport, which is pack on 20 pounds of muscle, which is going to take a lot of oxygen to pump through, especially going the pace that Tyson Fury is going to bring, especially around among the rounds of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, when that muscle will start to weigh down on you and all that, and it'll need tons and tons of oxygen. So we'll see what happens. To me, I think, he's got to be explosive right out of the gate, in my opinion. Deontay has to be explosive out of the gate.
And Wilder's 7 pounds heavier for this fight, all muscle. Fury actually came in 4 pounds heavier than the last one in February. And so that was interesting, when you think about that too, February 2020, all the way back then. But when you think about Fury, the extra 4 pounds, not that big a deal for him, right?
No, that's not a big deal. He's a large man. He probably fluctuates that every day, 4
Right.
or 5 pounds. He's a huge man. I think his walk-around weight is over 320, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's an enormous guy. So, to him, 277, he's in great shape. To him, that's a great lightweight for him.
85 is the reach for Fury, according to Lil Bullet. Thank you in the chat. You got some fans in the chat, by the way, DR. Appreciate you guys being in there. What do you think of the fight? We're doing a little roll call right now. Where are you watching us from right now around the world? Who do you think's going to win? How and in what round? Hey, we'll pick some of these comments from the chat and we'll throw them up on the screen. If you have any questions for David Nino Rodriguez, former world heavyweight boxing champion with 35 knockouts in his career, we're really just blessed to have him here with us tonight. So you guys want to ask him anything, this is your time right now in the chat, and we'll make sure we get to it here on MMA Weekly. Make sure you subscribe, smash that subscribe, hit the bell, the like, and you know how to interact with us in the chat here tonight for the trilogy. Fury Wilder 3, we're just moments away. The co-main event is in the books. I did not see them announce the winner yet, and that was a pretty good fight when you look at Jogba, and that fight looked pretty good, but I think he's going to get the loss. Meanwhile, David, I have to talk to you about Tyson Fury, and we're going to get a couple questions for you in a minute. But Tyson Fury, his story, for those who don't know it, and you've been living under a rock if you don't, but I think it's unbelievable. Thank you, by the way, Kim Sing Ray, for that little super chat right there, throwing us some tips in there, DR. But when I look at what Tyson Fury went through in his life, I've seen the videos, and we've all been through dark moments. So I've been through moments where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get up in the morning. The world has a way of beating you up sometimes. I've been through it. But Tyson Fury, one of the top boxers in the world, he went through a period of drug and alcohol abuse. He went through a period of some of the deepest, darkest depression where he blew up to over 450 pounds. He did not want to be alive. He had a wife, he had kids, he had money, he had seemingly everything in the world going for him. He was able to pull himself up out of that and become a world champion. His story is one of the most inspiring stories I've ever seen and heard in my life and in my career covering sports.
Yeah, Tyson, I'm going to tell you what, and he's an advocate for mental health. I often, I got to be honest with you, I suffer from the same exact thing. I'm clinically depressed. I've suffered from alcohol addiction, drug addiction, and, being a fighter sometimes, some of the traits of being a fighter is being self-destructive. And that could be to our own detriment. It's about recognizing it and getting help in any which way you can. I personally quit drinking. I got sober a year and 10 months ago. So
congrats on that, by the way. I've been out with you when you drank. That was a good move on your part. And I mean that seriously, not being yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you've seen it first.
I mean, and with the tolerance you had, man, it was like Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
It was like, I remember I was 100% sober at the time, and you were drinking, and I am not 100% sober anymore. I hardly ever drink anything. I got it under. It was more about the relationship I was in and the path we were on, but the effect that alcohol had on you and the effect that it's had on you since you don't drink anymore, man, it's unbelievable. And your whole entire life, because you were kind of in that boat where you didn't know what you were going to do. It was post-boxing. You have a successful family business in El Paso that you can always fall back on. I hope I'm not saying too much here, but to look what you've done in the quote unquote non-mainstream media, but with what's going on in the world right now and the things that you've been able to accomplish in that time since you got sober, when you combine some clinical depression with alcohol abuse, man, that can literally be a deadly combination. That's where Fury was, and he was on drugs too on top of it.
Right, that's like putting a blowtorch to it.
Yeah.
Alcohol intensifies every if you have mental health issues, alcohol will intensify it tenfold, 100-fold. So for Tyson to overcome this tells me what kind of man he really is, and to come back and be a champion, man, that's something I couldn't do, Jim. So I give him all the props in the world for what he did to overcome the depression. Look, I'll be honest with you. I hit rock bottom and found out that rock bottom had a basement, and I know Tyson did as well. I've heard, whispers throughout boxing that he suffered bad mental depression, really bad mental depression. I mean, to me, for him to pull himself out of that and come back and win a belt, that's like epic, like Johnny Tapia. Like I used to always talk about Johnny Tapia.
Oh, Johnny Tapia, God rest his soul.
It got the best of him. Mental.
Shout out to Teresa for keeping it together the way she has for her family and in the sport.
And that's a very sad case of when depression and bad mental health gets the best of you. But for Tyson to beat it says a lot. Now I'm curious though, and I hope he gets help when he retires from boxing. When Tyson finally hangs up the gloves and steps away from boxing, will he fall back into that depression? That's yet to be seen, because a lot of fighters do. When you walk away from the dance, it gets really dark. It gets really black for you. It feels like you're left out in the cold, naked, with no help. You're in the stormy seas without a compass. It's pretty sad when you finally get taken away from boxing and you're alone and you don't have the bright lights anymore, the crowd roaring your name. When that's all gone, is that depression going to come back? And so I hope he's able to get help, and I'm sure that he knows. I'm sure he has the tools to deal with it correctly.
Man, and you're looking lean and mean too, no doubt. DR's always a threat with the ladies, but looking lean and mean these days too. Tyson Fury, the worldwide celebrity, I mentioned The Undertaker did a video for him. He wore the Undertaker hat this week to one of the press events, I think maybe even the weigh-ins. And you had Drake made a little video for him today on IG, and there's no bigger star in the world than Drake right now. So he's crossed over completely. Wilder's looking for that. This is a huge fight at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, and we're just moments away right now from the trilogy. Tyson Fury, 30-0-1 with 21 knockouts. Deontay Wilder, 42-1-1 with 41 KOs. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Isaac, for the super chats and the tips in there. DR Isaac tipped us $20. And he wants to know who we think is going to win for that 20 right now. What are you thinking? And I know what you already said, so you're just going to be repeating it. But go ahead. Tell him. He wants to hear yours, not mine, I'm sure.
Okay, I think the muscle that Deontay has put on is going to go to his detriment. Now, anything can happen. He's an explosive fighter, but I think it's going to take away from his explosivity. I think Fury is going to go in with the same game plan that he had the second fight and try to manhandle him. And I think during the mid-rounds, 5th, 6th, 7th, even 8th, Deontay's hands will start to drop a little more, and the big shots will start getting dropped on Deontay from Fury, and we could look at a stop. And I'm predicting a stoppage. And
all right, I'm going the opposite, DR. I'm going the opposite. I'm thinking it. I might be drinking the Kool-Aid. I might be just an honorary Bomb Squad member for the night. I don't know, but I'm thinking that right hand, the Thunder or the Cobra, as you like to call it, from Deontay Wilder, it could not find its home in the last fight. He changed his whole team. He changed his whole camp. I know you don't like the fact that he bulked up. I'm thinking it might give him a little bit of extra power early on in the fight. And I'm thinking if he's going to get it done, look, Fury had a tough camp. He had COVID. They postponed the fight. It doesn't look like the same Fury to me. He almost seems overconfident. And hey, after the way he performed in the last fight, who am I to say anything about that? But I do know that in Fury's mind, he has Wilder completely figured out, completely mentally beaten. He has to be thinking that with all the changes that Wilder made. He's got to be thinking, I'm in his head, I'm rent-free, I beat him like a dog, and he has no chance to overcome what I know and what I've learned and what I've been able to do against him. The question is, with the new team, with the new trainers, the new training partners, how much will Wilder have worked on what to do to find a home for that right hand? How will he have improved what he did in that last fight to to avoid taking the kind of punishment he took from Tyson Fury and the chance to land that right and then that hook behind it? That's going to be, to me, the big key for Wilder. I think that they will have figured something out with Fury because it's a chess match. It's adjustments, right? And I think he's going to land a big shot early. Now, that doesn't mean Fury won't survive it. The guy's the ultimate survivor. We just talked about the depression, the drugs, the alcohol, things that would kill most people. He came back and became a champion. The shot that knocked him with his eyes back in his head in the 12th round of fight number 1, he might be the only guy on God's green earth who would have got, literally the only guy who would have gotten up from that shot was Tyson Fury, and he did. So remember that. Just because Wilder, and if Wilder is able to land that shot, that doesn't mean Fury won't get up from it and still find a way to win the fight. But I have to think that the greatness of Deontay Wilder has been challenged to such a degree that he's putting his entire legacy on this fight, and I think he's going to fight like it tonight. I just have a suspicion. I have a hunch. I have something in my gut telling me that everything he's ever done and everything he's ever stood for is on the line tonight in his mind. It has to be, with everything he said, with everything he's done. He's got to find a way to get it done. I just, for some reason, think he will.
I'm not going to disagree with you on Deontay. Anything can happen with Deontay. This is heavyweight boxing, and this guy's extremely explosive. I just find it concerning that he has 20 pounds of bulk on him, and that can take away from the zing of the right hand. Now, could he go out there in the first, second, third round and land that right hand and knock Fury out? Of course, that can happen. But I'm just saying it's concerning to me. I see, being a heavyweight fighter, if I was Fury and I was fighting Deontay and I saw that changeup in his repertoire, I saw a guy that I know has a vicious right hand, a cobra right hand at 217, where he can just let that go like a heat-seeking missile, come and weigh in at 238, I'm going to start thinking to myself, wait a second here. He's very insecure by the way I manhandled him that second fight, so he bulked up. And that's probably going to take a lot of zing away from that right hand and the combination.
That's David Nino Rodriguez, 35 knockouts inside the ring. At one point in time, one of the top heavyweight prospects in the world. Now one of the top political commentators in the world right now. And I got a guy in there, typical skeptic, is asking us, David, are you the same David that used to have a show with Laura Eisenhower? For real?
Yeah.
That's one.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's you. Okay, so there's someone in there who's a fan of that show. Let's see. We got some other questions. Bomb Squad, Gypsy Beatdown, one rack on the Bronx Bombers. Let's see. He means the Bronze Bomber, obviously. So you got God Save the Queen by Danny Walton right now being performed in the ring. So you know what that means. That ain't Deontay Wilder. That's not his song. That's Tyson Fury all day long, right? I mean, the flags are up and, it's just, you see T-Mobile Arena in all its splendor, man. I've been there for many a UFC fight, the Conor McGregor fights, and, seeing when that Irish flag is all over the Jumbotrons and the LED ribbons. And that's what the flag is right now for Tyson Fury as he gets set to enter the ring for this battle against Deontay Wilder. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. David Rodriguez. Nino is in the ring with us right now, man. And, we're here and getting ready for this big fight, man. I get chills. I get goosebumps. I've never fought in a fight like this. I've never fought in any fight, for that matter, outside of the playground. But I've been an announcer, DR, for 30 years of my life, and I've covered huge fights and Game 7s of the World Series and NBA Finals and Super Bowls and Final Four. Every event you can imagine, man. There is nothing that compares to the big fight feel. Whether it's the UFC, whether it's boxing, it almost doesn't matter to me. They're almost exactly the same. Whether it's Tyson Fury making the walk against Deontay Wilder or Conor McGregor making the walk against Dustin Poirier, whatever the case may be, when you're in the building for an event like this and you see the reaction and you feel the electricity of the crowd, and especially the fact that this is a trilogy, the biggest one, as you mentioned, since what, Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe, and then you throw in the fact that they're heavyweights. Holyfield and Bowe. My bad. My bad. So the point is, the atmosphere, man, the energy that just runs through that building and cuts through everyone in there is unmatched in any sport.
There's nothing. I'm going to correct you. There is nothing like the heavyweight championship of the world. There's nothing. I love UFC. I love it all, but what we're watching right now is the pinnacle of it all, Ram. This is it. The heavyweight championship of the world, especially when you have a trilogy like Fury versus Wilder. It doesn't get any better than this, man. You could be if you were in that room, you could cut the electricity with a knife.
And there's no better place than Vegas. It has to be in the fight capital of the world. I'll never forget the first time I called fights on national TV in Las Vegas. I just had this feeling like, holy crap, I actually did it. There's no feeling like it. There's no atmosphere like it. You're in T-Mobile Arena. There's 19,000 plus. You're right there on the Vegas Strip. The eyes of the world are watching. It's an $80 pay-per-view. No one gives a crap. It's going to sell tons of pay-per-views tonight. And, it's just one of those things that you do not want to miss. So we're really happy to have you with us here tonight. We're going to take you through this fight to the best of our abilities right here, live reaction on MMA Weekly, the most trusted source of news and entertainment in mixed martial arts and combat sports for almost 20 years. David Rodriguez, we are just moments away. Of course, you got the fanfare. Of course, you got all the songs being performed. You got the pomp and the circumstance. The building is completely full. It looks like a Game 7 Golden Knights game. That building is just jacked to the rafters tonight, and it should be.
Jam-packed. Look at everyone there. I mean, this is just incredible, man. You can see the excitement. People are ready.
Celebrities everywhere.
We know, we all know deep down this is going to end in a knockout.
Without a doubt. I mean, and you look at the British-born lineal champions, Lennox Lewis. Of course, look at Lennox Lewis and all the years that he was active, a great champion. And Tyson Fury, the third one's Bob Fitzsimmons, 1897 to 1899. But British-born lineal champions, Lennox Lewis and Tyson Fury. Lewis and Fury carrying that British flag, man. There's a couple of pretty good ambassadors. And Lennox Lewis is in the broadcast booth ringside tonight with Andre Ward and Brian Kenny.
And he still looks great. He still looks in shape.
Yeah, he does.
Tell he still stays in the gym.
Doesn't have the dreads anymore, though.
No, he doesn't.
He was smooth, bro. He was as smooth a dude as I've ever seen in boxing.
Yeah, in my opinion, the greatest heavyweight ever. In my opinion, now that's just my opinion.
Lennox Lewis. Yeah, okay,
I really believe that. I think.
Why? Tell us why. Everyone's going to want to know why.
Because he had power with both hands. He had heart, and he would dissect you according to who you were. If you were a Tua, if you were tactician. A Holyfield, he was a technician, and he could punch. I mean, he put guys away like Tyson. Holyfield was hard. Is a hard guy to fight, but he had his way with Holyfield. He had his way with Tua, and he fought the best guys in his era. He didn't dodge or duck anybody. So, to me, Lennox goes down as the greatest heavyweight, in my personal opinion, in history.
Oh, and he had the guys in his career who tested him. It was a great era for heavyweight boxing, which is a big part of it, right? I mean, you think about that loss to Oliver McCall, the loss to Asim Rockman. He fought Razor Ruddock. He fought Tyrell Biggs. He fought Tony Tucker and Frank Bruno. He fought Tommy Morrison and Ray Mercer and Andrew Galota and Holyfield, and David Tua, a guy who I knew pretty well. I worked some of his fights in Miami on HBO. That was way back in the 90s. Pernell Whitaker, God rest his soul, was on the card that I worked with David Tua. Lewis beat Mike Tyson. He beat Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko. He beat Hasim Rockman to avenge that loss. I mean, he hardly lost to anybody, man. He had a draw against Holyfield. He had the loss against Oliver McCall by TKO, and he had the loss to Asim Rockman by KO. But other than that, Lennox Lewis ended up at 41-2-1. So David Rodriguez says Lennox Lewis was the greatest heavyweight of all time. And without a doubt, in that era of Holyfield and Bo, and of course Tyson had all his problems, but with all those great fighters, he needed those guys to establish himself and to be the king of that era and maybe be the best of all time. He clearly was the best. I mean, he really was. And I agree with you. I don't know about all time, but I don't know who I put above him. I mean, Muhammad Ali had a bunch of losses, but he had Frazier and Foreman. That was a great era also. It's hard to go against Muhammad Ali, but I see what you're saying about Lennox.
Listen, I'll always go down that because he was a 6'5", big presence, a heavy puncher, and he was a technician, and he adapted to every fighter that he fought, and he didn't duck anybody. So to me, I put him on the pedestal. The most exciting heavyweight fighter, was obviously Mike Tyson. On paper, it was Rocky Marciano. The greatest, the greatest talker, the flashiest, Muhammad Ali.
Right.
So Tyson Fury, though,
Where
if he
does he
gets
rank? I was just about to ask you. Where's he on that list?
it depends on this fight and how he ends his career. It depends on
Okay.
this fight and how he ends his career. If he gets by Wilder, then he's already going to be up there with the greats. But if he can get by Wilder and unify the belts, then there's not really anything else he needs to do.
Man, I'm wishing I was in that building in Vegas right now, DR. I love being here with you and with all our fans on YouTube with MMA Weekly. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. David Nino Rodriguez, live coverage of Fury versus Wilder 3. They're about to make the ring walks. This is just phenomenal. I'm getting goosebumps right now. What are you guys thinking? Give us your predictions. Let us know what you think is going to happen. We got a huge full chat room right now. It's flying by. I see a lot of quotes in there saying bum squad. So obviously not bomb squad, but bum, B-U-M squad. So there's a lot of Fury fans in there. But, man, I'll tell you what, when you look at the size of these two guys, DR, not only are they heavyweights, man, these are monstrous, huge, gigantic heavyweights. This is a spectacle like no other. A heavyweight fight is a spectacle like no other. But given the fact these guys are literally, Fury's a super heavyweight, for crying out loud. It's almost like a superhuman giant, like when Andre the Giant would walk into a WWF ring. When you see guys this size in the middle of a ring, and you're just an average dude, like you're not, but the rest of us, it's unbelievable, man. There's nothing. I mean, you're what, 6'5", 6'6"? You're right up there with them. So,
yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, it hits me again, man. I'm getting nervous just watching this. I'm getting fidgety in my seat. It's just that this is what happens every time I watch a heavyweight championship fight. I get like this. I get nervous. I get all those old feelings come back.
Fury 8th round KO, says Jared. We had Fury 6'7.5", Wilder 6'7", says Bruno. Jared says Fury 8th round. Damasio says Wilder. Let's see. Yeah, Fury's 6'9", not 6'7". Fury's a monster. He's that's as tall as Larry Bird was. Fury. He's 6'9", man. He's an NBA player in there, man, and it's crazy. So we got a lot of people in there. If you're Wilder and okay, so Juan Guerrero wants to know, DR, if you're Wilder and you lose, what would be your next step? That's a good question.
This is if he loses, by a decision, that's one thing. If he loses by knockout, that's a complete another. That it'd probably be wise for him to retire because, there'd be nothing really else to prove. This fight's going to be a deciding factor for both of these men, and I think that whoever loses, and it depends on what fashion they lose. If it's a tough decision, which we all doubt that's going to happen, we're all feeling this is going to be a knockout. I think whoever loses this needs to ride off into the sunset and call it a day.
Call it a day. All right, there's your answer. And Howie R wants to know, what's The Undertaker doing with Tyson Fury? Send him a video. Fury wore the Taker hat this week, and Taker said, hey, Tyson Fury, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said, hey, man, I'm rooting for you tonight. I want you to knock him out, and I want you to whatever The Undertaker said to or he says, rest in peace, right? He wants you to look down and say, rest in peace, and roll your eyes back like the Taker. So Fury is clearly, Drake made him a video. He's the crossover star. He's the celebrity. And it's not like Wilder's a slouch in that department. He's got a lot of celebrity fans, too, and he'll have a lot of people on his side. And there's Fury in the Undertaker hat right there, sticking the middle finger up. So Ramsey says Wilder is no match. Gret Fresky wants to know, how would Nino do against either Fury or Wilder? Now, I'm going to say prime Nino, right? I'm going to say 35-0 Nino.
It's unfair to say because we're obviously – the age difference is so, I'm going to say this. In my prime, I had a left hook like Deontay's right hand. So it's a game changer at any time. And I did really well with taller fighters. You can look back on my old fights and see that the bigger fighters, when I fought them, they were made to order for me because I had an inside style. But let's just put it this way. Now at this point, I'm happy being out here with you, Jim, and commentating and being away from this.
Nobody's getting hit here tonight, DR.
No,
Nobody's getting hit.
This is nice. No more head trauma.
It is. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Anybody else got any good questions for David Rodriguez? This is a lot of fun. We're doing it here live on MMA Weekly. And you know how long it takes for the walkouts and the fighters to get ready. I mean, it's going to be a while, but we're here to have some fun with you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you keep it right here. By the way, how about Marina Rodriguez and what she was able to do against Mackenzie Dern? Unanimous decision tonight in Vegas in the UFC side of things as I take a look at the Big Shaq Daddy sitting ringside tonight. Of course, with a 6'9" and a 6'7" heavyweight, you're going to have the Diesel sitting there front row. You got Magic Johnson in the house. So many celebrities at this boxing matchup tonight. Vegas is always full of them anyway, but you're going to see that place full of them. What are you guys thinking? Any more questions for David Rodriguez? Who do you got? How do you got him? What round do you got him in? Who'd you put your money on? By the way, Fury was at minus 285 and Wilder was plus 225. DR, you like those odds?
What was it?
Minus 285 for Fury, plus 225 for Wilder. And if you throw a knockout on there for Wilder, you could win some big cash if you're betting Wilder by KO.
I bet the Ruiz Joshua fight, the first one, and I won big on that because I knew Ruiz was going to knock him out. Believe it or not, I had a 6 cents in that fight. This fight, listen, I'm calling Fury. I'm saying Fury does it again. But you're always rolling the dice with someone like Deontay. That's why this arena is jam-packed. That's why everyone's tuning in, because it's that big question mark. If that right hand lands, it's all she wrote, man. It's over.
William McClinton wants to know, DR, who would you take, AJ or Fury? Joshua or Fury?
Oh, Fury.
Yeah.
Fury by far. With the last couple showings from AJ, the last three really, it just seems like he's becoming more lackadaisical, a little more like he's almost looking for like a way out of boxing. I know that's a rough thing to say about a fighter, but it just looks like he doesn't want to be there as much as these guys.
It's Perpsky agrees with you, DR. Wilder messed up by putting on all that weight. He'll gas out by round 5. Fury wins split decision. Let's see. Keith McKenzie, Wilder is sloppy. Not impressed, but anything can happen. We got an F. Joe Biden in there. They seem to be popping up everywhere. We're not making this political. We don't want to go down that road, but I just think that's funny that you see that everywhere you go. Oscar Torres wants to know, what will Wilder's excuses be if he loses this time? Fury landed huge body shots in the second fight. We'll see if he can do more of that tonight. Alex Colby says it's Fury's island. An Irishman is forced to converse with the Almighty to find his equal. Okay, there we go.
I think we're going to see a lot more body work from Deontay from what I've heard in the boxing circles.
David Bodie wants to know, DR, could Wilder have developed the power in another punch or even the left to surprise Fury with a punch he's not expecting to be KO'd by?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a lot more hooks from Wilder over his right hand. I'm thinking that he's got to dictate the pace. He's got to come out and show a strong presence. Like, hey, I'm here. I am not going to get bullied. That's why he put on the muscle mass. That's why he bulked up. He wants to prove that he deserves to be in there with Fury, and he's not going to be manhandled this time. But is that going to take away from his punching power? That's the question.
What about?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Mark Maples wants to know, can Wilder have improved his technical skills enough to get in position where he needs to be? Fury looks head and shoulders above in the skill set.
Yes, he could have. Yes, he had 2 years to do this. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to know a lot in the first 2 rounds with Deontay, what Deontay's plan is. And I expect him to get out there and show his presence early.
All right, let's see.
You can't let Fury bully him. You can't let him bully him.
I think the boxing of Deontay Wilder, that's one thing I'm banking on and picking him. He did not look good in the second fight, DR. He got completely outclassed by Tyson Fury. Again, easy for me to say, but I'd want to get your thoughts on the clinic that Fury put on in the second fight, because that was a boxing clinic. No doubt about it.
It wasn't just a clinic. He just completely destroyed him. It wasn't even a contest. It was no contest. He manhandled him and destroyed him. He obliviated him. So I really do want to see what kind of Deontay is going to come out this time, because he treated him like a ragdoll that second fight.
He did.
It
No
was a
respect at all.
Oh.
He just dominated him, man. That was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen from a heavyweight. I'll just put it right out there. What are your thoughts? I mean, one of the best I've ever seen.
I'll tell you this. I did not expect that. I did not expect to see Fury come out like that with that kind of vengeance and put on that kind of clinic. I did not expect that. I was surprised.
It was great, right? I mean, it was just something to see. And whenever you see that kind of performance in the boxing ring, you know it's a special night. And either one of these guys, especially I think Fury, the way that he just gets things done in there, he just seems to get better every fight. He's got the intangibles, the Otto Wallen fight, the first Wilder fight, the adversity he overcomes, the chin on Tyson Fury. I mean, let's talk about the chin for a minute. Jeez, I mean, that dude has a chin made of steel.
To get dropped like that, most people, 99.9% of people, would be out cold and leaving on a stretcher. He got up. That says a lot.
He got up from a shot. Yeah. Oh man, to me that was one of the most devastating. And when your eyes roll back in your head, and I see a 5 count, and you haven't flinched, let alone move, and to see how fast he just popped up. It was like they just threw some smelling salts without the smelling salts. Boom, got right up.
It was like The Undertaker. It was The Undertaker. It
was The Undertaker, man. It was.
Never seen anything like that in my life. Never.
I can't do it. Watch, I'm going to try. You ready? I can't. Can you do it? Can you roll? I can't do it. Can anybody in the chat room roll your eyes back in your head like the Taker? I can't do it. I mean, I could if DR hit me. If Nino hit me, I could roll my eyes back. I'm pretty sure my eyes would roll back in my head. But that's what it would take right there.
This is going to be an exciting fight. Now, here comes the ring entrance of who's up first. Deontay, correct? So Deontay's coming.
It's got to be. Let's hope he doesn't wear that suit this time, DR, that he said was, what was it, 80 pounds?
This one's a little lighter.
I'm going to show the audience something here while we got Wilder doing his walkout.
He was showing respect to his African heritage.
Well, that's good. And I think he is there. So check this out, guys. These are your guys right here. I'm going to show everybody. This is us. I don't know if you can. It's not really. National TV, calling fights in Laredo, Texas in 2018. I am standing on something right there, by the way, for the record. I'm still shorter, but I was standing on something that was about like a 6-inch little boost that I had there just so we could get the camera shot right. That's myself with David Rodriguez doing fights on national TV. I think we had 1.8 million viewers that night. So we need to top that right now here on MMA Weekly. We've done bigger numbers. We've done 2.1 for a McGregor fight. We did 1.9 for Tyson and Roy Jones. We're looking to beat those numbers tonight with Wilder and Fury. I should say Fury and Wilder, not Wilder and Fury, because Fury has certainly earned that. But Wilder's, he's got the costume on. He's got a red and silver and black blinged out mask. He is paying tribute to his African heritage, and he's got the braids in like he does. And I'll tell you what, man, if you're gonna put a picture of a superhuman looking athlete anywhere, and you're gonna say, what does a superhuman athlete look like? There's a pretty good chance it's going to look like Deontay Wilder looks right now.
I'll tell you what, he looks like a bodybuilder right now.
Beast.
And he looks huge. He looks enormous.
Those traps, his shoulders, I mean, he is ripped. He's a monster. He's focused. And again, DR, you're saying that muscle gain's going to hurt him more than it's going to help him, but he passes the eye test for sure, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I've always told everybody I'm not out here to win the weigh-in, but we'll see how effective that muscle is in this fight. Like I said, it takes a lot of oxygen to pump through that, especially in the mid rounds. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th rounds. Is he going to be dropping his hands? Is he going to be able to follow up with counter shots? That muscle weighs on you, and that Fury is going to be busy.
Why do you think Wilder already looked tired in the second round last fight? That was early.
Because he probably felt some very hard, big shots from Fury, and he kept coming. Fury would land big shots and then press on him and put his weight on him. land more big shots than press on him and put his weight on him. That takes it out of you.
All right,
It's like
DR,
getting
here's a
hit by a
question
train.
for you. Getting hit
Okay.
by a train. Here's a question for you. Ryan Yates wants to know Tyson Fury versus Mike Tyson in their primes. Who you got?
You know, that's so unfair to say because it's two great fighters in two different eras. But if I would have, you know, this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I would have to say Fury because of the height advantage, the reach advantage,
6'9".
and he would figure something out. Yeah, 6'9".
What was Tyson? How big was Tyson? 5'11"? Yeah.
5'10".
5'11".
5'10".
Yep. And he wasn't a big heavyweight either.
Well, already on the entrance, I don't know about this, guys.
Yeah, what's Fury got going on here? This is pretty crazy. I don't even know what these guys are.
Yeah,
there's like a giant bass drum. There's some dancing, like almost looking like the. I mean, how do you even describe this if you guys can't see this?
You know, I really hope.
These guys going like this with things on their head.
You know, a lot of people haven't put this in the deciding factor either. Is I really hope Fury isn't overconfident.
Here it is, DR. You ready?
Yeah.
These guys doing like this. That's what they're doing. Oh, they're playing some sort of flute that looks like a dinosaur bone. I don't know what's going on here on the Fury walkout. Fury over Tyson. Yes, Jess, that's what DR's saying. Lewis fought a Tyson that was a shell of himself, just a guy. I think everybody would agree that. Although Tyson was that was prime Mike Tyson at the press conference. I'm going to eat his kids. I mean, that was Mike Tyson at his craziest.
Tyson in his prime was, you got to remember, 215 pounds, 212 at his prime. You know,
let's say this, man, though. I do want to say this about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has become a voice of reason. He's become a mentor to generations. He's become a leading example of a guy who is followed and adored and really turned his life around. And he's helping a lot of people right now, man. I got to give nothing but love and respect to Iron Mike Tyson with everything he's been through and everything he's doing now. My buddy Henry Cejudo is doing his podcast with him, Hotboxing with Mike Tyson. And, you know, I sit and talk to Henry, and you can just see Henry's an Olympic gold medalist and a 2-division UFC champ, and he's sitting there like a little kid asking Mike Tyson questions. With that kind of effect on people, and to do the good that he's doing with it right now is fucking amazing. I love Mike Tyson. I really do.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, you know, I've had the privilege of meeting him and hanging out with him. And what a great guy, man. You know, he's had a lot of demons himself, and he's beat them. You know, we all have demons, and it's a consistent battle.
Fury came out in like a Roman gladiator hat with the feather on top of the gold hat, and now he's got the belt. And he's got a trucker hat on now. I don't know what it says. Wilder just waiting in the ring.
It says Jesus.
It says Jesus. There you go. That's a big part of Fury's life and what he's been able to do, man. Eric Clark says Tyson, nothing but respect. Scott Brackett says Iron Mike wins all fights in his prime. None of these guys go one round. Eric Pearson says Lennox Lewis, greatest boxer of this era. Nino said best of all time, heavyweight. Robin Hood says Fury versus Tyson is like Foreman versus Frazier. James Lara wants to know who could beat Mike Tyson in his prime, maybe Ali. To see the respect that Tyson gives Ali, cries when he mentions his name, is pretty awesome as well. And let me say this here. Oh, no disrespect says if Wilder loses, he should retire. Got some good comments coming through, guys. Keep them coming.
Now, look, if he gets knocked out, he retires. If he loses a split decision, there's some room there. You know, there's some room for error right there. You know, but I don't think this is going to a decision, and I know none of our audience does either. Tonight's going to end up in a knockout. I think we all agree on that.
All right, throw him up, guys. Let's go. Now's the time. Fury just hit the ring. God, he's a freaking giant, man. Tyson Fury is in the ring. Wilder, of course, has been in there. He's waiting. Throw him up, guys. Who do you got? How do you got him? What round do you got him in? Kaminko says George Foreman is the best of all time. Maybe the best pitchman. I mean, who did a better job pitching anything than Foreman did the Foreman grill? I bought one of those damn things. It was completely useless, but I bought it because of the infomercial. Actually, it was pretty good at the time. I won't say it was useless. Now it wouldn't, whatever, but at the time, if you wanted to have, cook your chicken breast or your fish and get all the fat off it, the Foreman grill wasn't bad. I don't want to diss it too bad. But George was the ultimate pitchman. I mean, Ali was the ultimate talker. George was the ultimate pitchman. Fury's not far behind either one of them, though. I love his charisma. I love his personality. He's got that quick wit. He comes right back at you. He said he's going to finish. What did he say about Wilder this time? He said something hilarious where he said, "What?
Working at McDonald's or something, flipping."
Yeah, working at McDonald's. Yeah. He's going to end him. I mean, I'm going to look up Tyson Fury quotes here. This is great. Tyson Fury quotes. Let's just do a little search here. We got a couple minutes before this fight starts. Wilder getting that last minute.
I will say that Deontay looks very calm and collected. I will say that.
Here we go. Tyson Fury's. You got to go to the Manchester Evening News. You got to go to the British papers for this sort of thing. And I got to accept the cookies from Manchester, England. So here we go. I'm gonna read some of. So, okay. He says, It just shows you that I'm living in Wilder's mind rent free the whole time. 2 years. Every time he looks in the mirror, he sees Tyson Fury. Every time he closes his eyes at night, he sees the Gypsy King. And every time he wakes up and everything he thinks about in the morning, he thinks about Tyson Fury. It must be crazy to be obsessed with a man like me. And that's pretty true. I mean, Wilder has been obsessed with Tyson Fury.
I can't sit still.
I'm magic. I'm like Houdini. Wilder's the biggest puncher in the history of our sport, but I've got the biggest balls in the history of our sport, as I've proved many, many times. Waiting from a challenge from Wilder. Here you go, DR. I'm really hoping he's improved because I'm here for a fight and I want a challenge. I didn't come all the way over to America and be undefeated for 13 years not to get a challenge. All right.
Man,
wait, do you have your is that your volume I'm hearing, DR?
Okay.
We got to turn that volume down if we don't want them being able to hear that. Sorry, guys. I know you're going to hate me for that.
Oh, man, I got to have it turned up.
I know. Here's what he said. Okay, this time I had 18 months of practicing what I'm going to do to him. So I anticipate it's going to be like an 18-wheeler running over somebody. That's what you're going to see. That's what he said. 18 months to prepare means you're going to see an 18-wheeler. Is pretty much what he was talking about.
What was Fury's weight on the second fight?
He was 4 pounds lighter.
Okay, so just 4 pounds. So the big weight difference is Deontay coming in 20 pounds heavier. And yes, it's beautiful. It looks great. He looks like a bodybuilder. It's 20 pounds of muscle. But like I said, that takes oxygen, guys.
Fury is going to attach an Irish car bomb to Wilder's back at some point, probably pull it out of his glove. Okay. We got some good stuff going on. The mail-in vote is undefeated. Ouch. Ouch. Someone's one of your followers, Nino. We got him in there. Look at all the Fury shirts tonight. Yeah, they're everywhere in the crowd, man. That's a good point. Fury going to jab his face off, says Steven Dern. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if I'm Fury, I don't change anything. The way he dominated that second fight. Maybe you have an anticipation of something else that Wilder might do, but, I mean, shit, when you perform the way he did in really both fights, because he outscored him in what? How many of the rounds? Was it like 17 of the 19 or something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know the specific number, but it's getting ready. It's almost go time. It is almost go time. Here we go.
Man, this is close. This is close. We got the biggest heavyweight fight in ages right now. The trilogy, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. They're in the ring. Someone kept Jimmy Lennon Jr. awake long enough to make the introductions. We're almost ready to go.
Oof. Look at this stare down. What a stare down.
Fury's deranged, man. Look at those eyes. Yeah. You can just tell he's not, I mean, you can't be all there, right? I mean, to be that great of a fighter, you really can't be all there mentally. No, you have to be able to go to a place where you're not all there. Not saying 24/7, but when you're competing, you have to be able to go to a place where you're just not human, right? What is that like, DR?
You have to check out of this reality, man. You're in a zone. You're in a different place. It's spiritual, man. Here we go, round one.
Oh, center of the ring.
And what
Wilder coming out trying to pump that jab straight on.
to the body.
Fury looks light on his feet, man. Fury always looks so light on his feet to me.
Didn't I tell you he was going to go to the body?
Yep, you did. 3 in a row. Jabs to the body from 4, and a 1-2 where the right lands into the gut of Fury. Backed him up a little bit.
Yep. Oh, yeah. He's showing his strength. He's showing his strength.
Wilder did land a right hand to the side of the face of Fury, too. Looking pretty good, the bomber, early on.
Yes, but can he do this in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round is what I'm saying.
Right. And he's hoping he might not need to, but he really is aggressively going to the body of Tyson Fury. That's pretty much all he's doing early on.
He's really loading up with that right hand to the body a lot.
He's got 3 punches landed to none for Fury.
Right. He's keeping him at bay with that jab to the body, like I said he would.
Wilder's wearing a red wraparound, almost looks like one of those, native skirts. Fury's wearing the black and gold trunks, and Fury's been kind of backpedaling a little bit as Wilder continues to attack the body early on, or attempt to.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if Deontay can keep this push pace with his jab at the body and pushing. He looks like he's pushing his punches, trying to keep Fury away from him, and
Fury threw a 1-2, then went in and hugged him up. There's a jab trying to hit, from Wilder, went up top. Rare. Almost everything, jab and the 2, have been straight into the midsection of Tyson Fury. Now he's going upstairs a little bit more.
Good right hand. Good right hand
from
on
Wilder.
top of Fury's head.
Yep. It had no effect on him. Amazing, the chin he has.
Remember I told you that Deontay had to come out and claim the pace in the very get-go, and he did.
And he looks controlled. I mean, you said he might be pushing his punches, but, he doesn't look wild. He looks to be trying to conserve his energy as he lands a right to the body. 6 punches landed for Wilder so far to 1 for Fury. And he's got Fury in the corner, and he landed a pretty good shot there, too.
He's really loading up. I don't like that. I think it's only a matter of time before Fury starts to wear him down.
Still very early, 20 seconds left in round 1, this trilogy fight. Wilder clearly coming out looking at the body. Fury hasn't thrown much, but he's landed 5 shots. In the last minute or so, he's really started to even the score. But if you look at the cards at the end of the round, go ahead, DR.
I noticed Deontay was off balance after you threw a couple of his shots. That's not good.
Yeah, and Fury hit him with a right. We hit the end of round number 1. Wilder raises his hands as he heads back to the corner, clearly thinking it was his rounds. What do you think?
I think that, I would have given it to Deontay just because he was more active, but it didn't show me much. And the real clean shot was landed by Fury. Although Deontay tried to control the pace, the big right hand was by Fury. I think as the rounds go, Fury's going to crawl up and just creep up on him.
Fury hit him right here with a right. The bottom of the side of the jaw into the neck under the ear is where that one landed, the big right from Fury.
Right.
Wilder didn't land any power punches, though. He didn't land any power shot. Maybe one, but it didn't have a lot of steam on it. It was mostly jabs and, just effect punches that he landed.
Jabs to the body. But look, I mean, he's breathing hard right now for the first round. Let's see what he's got this second round. He's going to try to dictate the pace again, but I think Fury's going to start getting real comfortable real soon.
Fury just kind of felt him out a little bit, especially early in that round. They step into the center of the ring for round number 2. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. We got David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight boxing champ, with us here on MMA Weekly. Smash that subscribe. Keep it coming in the chat. We love the interaction here on social media with MMA Weekly. The live money line odds, Fury at -260, Wilder at +190. So after that round 1 performance by Wilder, the odds a little bit more in his favor, but Fury's being a little bit more aggressive here, DR. Had Wilder backing up and came really close with that go-go gadget arm to landing a big shot with the right. Man, his arms are so long, it's crazy.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Deontay is telegraphing his right hand. I've never seen him telegraph it that bad. He's sending a, he's telegraphing his jab and his right hand. Fury looks a little more smoother to me right now.
He does, and he looks pretty energized out there in round 2. He was obviously kind of feeling him out in round 1. Different appearance and a different look from Fury in this round for sure.
Absolutely. I think he's just going to keep walking him down a little bit. See, now Deontay's walking back a little bit. So Fury's landing 2 shots and holding. Landing 2 shots and holding. That seems to be what he's
his percentage is higher. Oh, Wilder wildly missing with a right. Not even close. That takes a lot out of you.
These guys are dropping bombs. They're here to end the night. They're going.
Someone's
they're both
here to end the night.
Early.
Yeah, they are. We have no objections to that. And we have no objections to a highlight reel knockout. Watching us right now. Lose that first round to feel Wilder out, says Levi Sullivan. What'd you say, DR?
I said Deontay needs to work his jab more. He's telegraphing that right hand. That's all he's got.
Yeah, he's not really going to the body like he was in round 1.
No, he needs to keep doing that. He did that in the first round. Get back to the body.
Oh, Fury with a right hand, and now Wilder with a nice right to the body in close. Tyson Fury's got a little bit of that softness around the middle, to put it nicely.
Tyson likes to throw 2 punches and clinch. Throw 2 punches and clinch. And make it a real physical fight. He's making it really physical in there. Clinching. Hitting him with his shoulder, hitting him with his elbows inside.
And obviously Wilder keeping that head on the outside, not wanting to feel that uppercut. You got to really be careful of that as you're coming in toward or off of a clinch. Those will turn your lights out real quick. End of round 2. So you give that round to Fury, I would guess, for sure, right?
I would almost say that round's even. The first one I give to Deontay just because he came out and controlled the pace. The second round, I might edge it out to Tyson. Yeah, he landed a significant blow.
Yeah. Another big right. 1 in each round. Those add up, man. And then when Fury came in for a clinch, it looked like Wilder caught him with an elbow.
Going into round 3. And they're dropping bombs. These guys have evil intentions in the end of their shots for sure. But we're not seeing a technical fight at all.
I'm hearing somebody's sound on the fight. We got to be careful of that. I don't know where it's coming from. My money is on Wilder because the spread was too wide, but think Fury probably wins and wins on the under 7.5. You like the over or the under 7.5 for Fury, DR?
Over.
The odds makers know what they're doing. That number's a tough one for Fury, 7.5. But Fury seems to have Wilder backpedaling a little bit more now. And like Fury really looking athletic and spry on his feet right now as the rounds move on. Yeah.
He knows that he's only bringing an arsenal. Deontay's only bringing an arsenal of a jab to the body and a telegraphed right to the head. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing.
Fury's quicker. Fury's beating him to the punch too. He's quicker with the jab. Much quicker. It was a nice right by Wilder. It might have grazed the top of his head. Wilder hasn't really let that right hand go all that much. I mean, he's thrown it. You said he's telegraphed a few of them, but none of those super big power shots really. But Fury's outlanded him by 9, 24-15. Hit the 2-minute mark around 3. A lot of clinching going on. More and more as the fight continues.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work out well for Deontay.
That's why he said he put the weight on. He wanted to be stronger in that part of the fight. That's exactly what he said. So we'll see if it pays dividends for him there. Fury with a nice stiff jab, though. Oh, man.
It's really
Wilder.
Hard. This looks like almost like a tough man contest.
Oh, Wilder just crushed him with a right hand. That might have been his biggest land of the fight. Fury just walks through it.
That was a great right hand. Great
man, he just walked through it, DR. He just walked right through it. Jeez. Half the world would be dead.
Look, both these guys are now they're just landing at will. This is like this is a slugfest, guys.
Wilder's sensing something here, going for it. He's getting Wilder with these shots he's throwing. I think he feels like he's not going to beat. Look, he's being outlanded 30-18. He's kind of figuring in his head. He knows he's not going to beat Fury any other way.
He's
He knows
loading
it.
up way too much. He's loading up way too much. I don't like how. And he's down.
Oh, wow.
Down.
Fury. Damn. Wilder's wobbled by that one. Wow, Tyson Fury. I got to see the replay. It was a counter. But he threw something wild and he got hit.
He's
okay.
I believe this is over right. I think it's going to be over right here, guys.
15 seconds left in the round. Fury lands another big right. 7 seconds. 6, 5. Wilder's waiting for this bell right now. He's clearly wobbled, big time wobbled right now. He needs the end of this round, and he's lucky that bell rang right there because he was staggered.
The ref could have stopped it right there. I'm glad he didn't. We're going to get to see another great round, but to me, it looks like that's all she wrote.
I want to see this shot, DR, this replay here. As soon as they show it, I'll just have you take everybody through it. No sense in me saying anything, but I'm waiting. They're obviously working on that in the truck.
Like I said before, he was telegraphing his shots. His arms look heavy. The muscle, the bulkiness, the 20 pounds is not helping him.
Let's see. Here it comes, DR.
Boom.
Oh, right in the side of the temple. A big right hand from Fury.
Boom. Boom.
And then a right hand in close and a left. Yeah. So a straight right to the side of the temple and then a right hook to follow. But that straight right. And it immediately got Wilder holding on. Yeah, the uppercut. I didn't see the uppercut. He snuck in there.
I'll be surprised if Deontay survives this round.
That's 3 pretty big shots he's taken. He still looks a little wobbled in there, and he looks a little slow.
Yeah, he does.
He needs to go back to the body. Fury smells blood, though. You can see him.
Yes, he does.
This one might not get out of the 4th.
But listen, Deontay still got some fight in him. He's fighting him. He's fighting with his back against the ropes. But you cannot take away from the fact that he looks tired. He looks dog tired already, which I said he would by putting on all that muscle mass.
And Fury, and you said by the 5th round, this is the 4th. Fury just started to attack the body once, and Wilder's like looking, obviously tired, looking slow and a little wobbly on his feet, coming right in for the clinch. This is, Wilder's looking pretty beat up and pretty slow in there right now.
Tyson
tying him
again.
up. He's being outlanded 41-22. Almost doubled up on shots landed.
This is a complete slugfest. This is not technical boxing by far. This is not textbook boxing. This is not technical boxing. This is just, let's see who lands the first biggest shot. And what Fury's doing is landing 2 shots and grappling, 2 shots and grappling. And then Deontay is just telegraphing every one of his shots.
Yeah, and his hands are low, David. His hands are very low. Wilder's.
Very low. There's no way he can keep up at that pace that Fury's going for the rest of this fight.
Yeah, the live money line odds, to listen to this, DR, minus 3,000 live money line odds for Fury. That went from minus 285 at the start of the fight and minus 260 at the end of round 1. He's at minus 3,000 right now.
Looks like Fury's hurt.
Oh, Fury's going down. Oh, Wilder knocked down Fury. Oh, man. You cannot underestimate the heart of a champion. That's a Rudy Tomjanovich quote. I did not see that coming, man. Fury's up, but he got dropped. Wow, man. All right, it ain't a fight till each guy gets dropped. Here we go. Wilder's swinging crazy right now, throwing bombs with 20 seconds left in the round. Trying to end Tyson Fury here with one shot. This is great. Oh, if he connects with one of these. Oh, he knocked him down again. He knocked him down again, DR.
Yep.
Wow. Deontay Wilder. Fury's going to get up from that. He's going to get up. Wow. And he's going to survive till the end of the round. Oh, my God. 7, 8.
This is a fight.
He's good.
This is a fight. This is a big
wow.
fight. This is a good fight.
Yeah. That's the end of the round right here. Two
Wow.
knockdowns in the round for Deontay Wilder, David.
Wow.
I can't wait for these replays. A knockdown for Fury in the last round, in the fourth, and now in the fifth, Deontay knocks him down twice. And those were short punches, too. They weren't the big, long ones that you said he's been telegraphed. He got him with the short punches, which is what he needs to do.
Yep, you're right.
Here you go.
Boom, right down the middle.
Oh, walked right into it.
Down the middle.
It didn't drop him, though. Where's the one that – oh, okay, it wobbled him, and then he just fell eventually. Yep. Like a tree, and you just yell timber. Takes a while. Here's the second one.
Boom.
Oh.
Right down the middle.
You think Fury just got a little overconfident there?
Yeah, I really do.
He walked right into both of them. He literally walked right into them.
He had his chance to end it, that round.
Wilder sprinting to the center of the ring. Oh, look at this. Here we go, DR. Round number 5.
Here we go. Tyson really needs to compose himself and clinch and hold and maneuver Deontay and land a big shot again, because Deontay now is going all out. He's Deontay could empty his tank this round.
If he's smart, he will. Fury's still outlanding him 46-28, but Fury looks okay, man. Both guys looking better. Like they've completely snapped out of it. They both look
almost like those knockdowns woke him up.
Yep, more refreshed, right? Wilder's hands are still low, though. Oh, big right from Wilder. Oh, he's throwing bombs right now. Bomb squad in full effect.
Bombs.
I got to be right. That's all I care about. Come on, Deontay.
Oh,
big right from Fury. Oh. Woo.
This is just dropping bombs.
This is what you want to see in a heavyweight fight of this magnitude, man. They are not disappointing. Neither are our numbers in the chat. Thanks, guys. We love you.
This is a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Fury's still outlanding him 51-28, but he got dropped twice in the fourth round. Wilder got dropped in the third.
Deontay's a little shaky. Deontay's shaky. Fury has to keep pumping that jab.
Tyson Fury motioning him forward, saying, come on. And he did just take a right hand. That one might not have connected squarely. It hit the glove on the way in, but it did land. This is unbelievable, man. There's nothing like this in the world.
Deontay I love this. Looks really off balance. Neither of these guys are throwing combination punches at all. They're just loading up with one big shot each.
Man.
Whoever drops
and they're missing.
Who drops them, and they're whoever can land the big shot each. Who's gonna land the first big shot? That's the first combination I've seen Fury put together.
Yeah, he went to the body with the right hook. Outlanding him 54-32. The output's about the same, but a much higher percentage of connectivity for Fury.
Did it again. 2 punches and then holds. 2 punches and then holds.
And then throws a little right while they're in the clinch and hits him in the side of the temple. Not much on it.
The muscle on Deontay will start taking a toll. Is when I said
he looks exhausted.
Yeah, he looks very tired.
Thank you, Gary. Gary from the Vault, $5 super chat. I told y'all Wilder 6-round KO. Let's go, Wilder. I said 2. I didn't give a round. I should have given a round. 6 rounds sounds about good, but I said Wilder by KO. KO.
There's no boxing in this.
No.
There is no boxing.
End of the round. End of the round, man. Both guys raising their arms as they head back to their corner. What were your thoughts there?
Just an onslaught from both sides of just bombs. These guys are here to take each other out. That's it. That's all we're going to see. We're going to see someone finally get dropped. I can't imagine that at this pace, this is going to go the distance.
This is awesome. Are they living up to your expectations so far, or did you think you'd see better boxing from Fury like we saw in fight number 2? What is this? Really, where does this register for you?
I thought I'd see better boxing from both of them. They're both just throwing haymakers on each other right now. Boxing has gone out the window. Boxing's out the window. Right now, they're just loading up with big bunches, just trying to take each other out. I've really never seen 2 heavyweights so careless in my life.
They're making fans.
They're here to
the
take
fans are loving what they're seeing.
Round 6.
Wow, what a fight, man. And not again, technically speaking or purity wise as a boxing fan, but my God, your breath is held. At any second, you know that either guy could hit the canvas and go to sleep, and this thing could be over at any point in time right now.
Absolutely.
Fury looks fresher for what that's worth.
Yeah, he does. He does look fresher, and Deontay's hands look like they're dropping. And he's off balance.
That jab just went right over him. The jab just went right over him, DR. Good call. What's the scorecard? I haven't seen a scorecard of you.
No, I have not.
And we're not doing them, so we're sorry, guys. We'll get that for you as soon as we can. 60-32, Fury outlanding Wilder. If it's a question of the scorecards, it's going to go Fury's way. Wilder hit him real hard twice and dropped him in the fourth round.
Oh, it looks like Wilder took a knee.
Yeah, it looked like a low knee there. His hands are low, man. They're like below his pecs.
That's because that's all that muscle. He's got to.
Oh, there's a scorecard.
Deontay has got to land his hope. Obviously we know that Deontay's only hope is to land a big shot, but that muscle's just gonna.
I see a scorecard, man. 47-45 Wilder unofficially through 5 is what their ESPN Plus / Fox guy has it at.
Two knockdowns.
Yeah. Even though Fury's outlanded him 64-37, so Wilder up 2 on the scorecard for whoever was asking in the chat room.
This is like 2 linemen fighting. It's like dunk, dunk, and then hold. Dunk, dunk, and then hold. 2 big bombs and then hold. 2 big bombs and then hold.
Man, big men in there. Oh, Fury with a hell of a combination. He's just threw a 4-punch combo. Oh, Wilder just missed with a big right. Oh, Fury tapped him on the end of a punch there. Oh, Wilder just missed a big right hand hook, but missed being hit by it. Fury threw it.
Wow.
Wilder just dropped. What happened there?
His legs are giving out.
Did he get
Fury
hit there?
Fury can taste it. Fury can taste it. Yeah, but when something like that happens, when fighters start taking knees, that's a silent contract right there. That's
Fury's coming in. It's what, DR? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a silent contract. It's when they take a knee like that and you push them, it's a sign of weakness. There's a chink in their armor.
Okay. 10 seconds left in round 6. Fury looking for the finish here. Oh, those punches from Wilder are just wild with nothing on him now. He's exhausted, DR. You were right. He's exhausted. Deontay Wilder barely able to finish that round.
So it looks like it froze a little bit.
Yeah, we're back. You hear me okay?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you. What round are we going into?
We are going into the 7th, right?
Is it the 7th? Okay.
Fury landed another pretty good right and a decent left there. 4-punch combo. Wobbled him up a little.
Boom. It's a hell of an uppercut. I mean, these guys are just dynamite in both hands. And they're not here to box. They're here to slug.
Absolutely incredible. 70 punches landed for Fury.
I just wish Fury would land more of a combination instead of just 2 punches and holding.
Yeah, like that 4-punch combo he threw last round where he hit 2 of them.
Yeah.
The live money line back down to -480 for Fury. A couple of rounds ago, it was -3K. Wilder's showing a lot of heart, man. A lot of heart in this fight. Both guys. Fury just continuing to push forward.
This is a really physical fight. I have not seen one hook from Fury.
They're in tight now, fighting in a phone
It looks
booth.
like this is the way he wants to control Deontay.
Start leaning on him when he gets tired, right? Pretty good. I think that's a pretty good strategy.
Oh, that was a good shot.
Oh, good big shot. Right from Fury.
Another one.
Big one. Wilder might be in trouble here, DR. 7th round, minute 35.
You know, I told you that muscle will start weighing down on him. So
oxygenation, right? Isn't that what we said?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What you said, not me. I'm trying to take credit for it. I picked Wilder. I'm not loving that pick right now.
Well, I mean, listen, with the power that he has, anything can happen at any given time. We know that. But there it is again. Another big shot.
He just missed a big left, man. That would have taken Fury's head off. Oh, yep. Fury walked right into it right. Come on, Deontay. Come on, Tyson. Let's start throwing some bombs here. Minute left in round 7 of this epic trilogy fight between these two great champions. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, who just landed 2 big rights and an uppercut. Oh! Woo!
Oh, my God.
Deontay Wilder's in trouble. He's taking a beating right now.
Yeah, this is bad.
He's wobbling, DR. He looks like a bowling pin that just got nicked. Oh, no, he's in trouble. Fury senses it. And he's exhausted. Fury just relentlessly just pounded him in the body with a left. Clenched up, wearing him down, leaning on him, sucking the life right out of his body. That bulked up muscular body you've been talking about all night. Wilder looks like he has nothing left. End of the round. He survived it.
This is a hell of a fight. This is a hell of a fight, man. I haven't seen a heavyweight championship fight like this in, I don't think, ever.
So take us through what's happening now. As a guy who finished your fights the way you did, early and violently, when you go into these deep waters where you haven't been that many times and you know Fury has, what's going through the mind of Wilder right now as he survives that round? He's getting exhausted. You know your heart's the only thing you got in you right now. Whoever wants it more is what happens here, but you're not that guy historically. You never had to be. What's going through his mind right now?
You know, I'm going to tell you right now, Deontay knows he has to, obviously, since from the beginning bell of round 1, he has to knock Tyson out. This can't go on much longer. A lot of panic is setting in with Deontay right now. He's exhausted. He's probably questioning. There's a question mark in his mind. Can he finish the round? Can he get the knockout? And he's, I'm telling you, he has a lot of anxiety and he's exhausted. And that anxiety makes you even more tired. So I'll tell you right now, we're going to see. This looks, his feet doesn't even look under him.
Round 8. Yeah, he's going backwards. Yeah, he doesn't look right. Wilder doesn't look right here. No spring in his step, no bounce whatsoever. Fury does. Fury looks good. He's got the pep in his step. He's throwing the jab. He looks fresher. I don't want to say Wilder looks terrible, but Fury definitely looks more athletic and fresher at this point. Wow. You got to watch Wilder off those ropes, though, with that right hand. Now the scorecard's even at 65 each, from what I see.
I think I have Fury ahead.
Fury's won the last 2. Wilder won the 4th and 5th. Fury the 2nd and 3rd. Wilder the 1st. That's what their scorecard says. All 10-9s. Oh, no, there's a 10-7 round for Wilder. Oh, yeah, the 2 knockdowns in 1 round. 10-7 round for Wilder in the 4th, DR.
That's right. Yeah, 2 knockdowns.
That's the big one for him. Without those, he'd really be in trouble right now. But he always has the chance to sneak that right hand through.
Hell of a right hand. The hell of a right hand from Fury. Fury needs to put some pep in his step, man. I think he senses Wilder. Look, he's bouncing. He's bouncing.
Oh, left from Fury on the way out. Oh, he's really bouncing. Oh! I think you might be a little ahead of me, DR. I have 1:15 left in the round. What do you got?
1-9.
Okay, you're a little ahead of me. Oh, 2 big rights from Fury has Wilder stumbling backwards into the corner. Man, how is he taking this punishment like a G? Still coming forward, trying to land that right is Deontay Wilder. Maybe a little bit more desperation now. Michael says Wilder is gone. What are your thoughts, DR?
You know, that muscle, I don't think it helped him. But that's
His
all
right
he's
still
looking
has
for.
a lot on it.
His right has a lot on it. That's all he's looking for. That's all he's looking for. But Fury, I mean, Fury needs to pick it up a little bit right here.
Now he looks tired. Wilder connects with the right. Now another one to the body. Oh, man, his arms were down. Fury missed a chance there. His arms were down for a good long time coming out of that corner.
Fury keeps missing that right hand. I don't understand that.
Right. Wilder's head movement at the last second getting out of the way. End of the round. Wilder missed with a crazy right. Here we go, man. I didn't think Wilder was going to make it out of that round. Or the last two, for that matter.
I have Fury ahead, even with the 2 knockdowns by Wilder.
Oh, a big straight right from Wilder, and that right down the pipe and splitting the guard of Fury. Fury just kind of looks at him and smiles.
Boom. Whap. Oh, what a right hand.
Oh, man.
What a right hand from Fury.
How did Wilder take that one? Wilder's coach getting right in his face, animated. Wilder's exhausted, DR. Look at him in the corner.
Yeah, he's spent.
That's David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight champ. I'm Jim Greashopper. This is MMA Weekly's live coverage of Fury Wilder 3 from Vegas. This fight advancing on into the 9th round. What's the doc doing in there with Wilder? Just checking him out. Okay, get out of there, man. You got no business in there. No reason for you. But I guess maybe looking at the way he was on the stool.
That makes Fury put a lot more pep in Fury's step.
Yeah, he has it coming out for sure. What are you thinking right now if you're Fury?
If I was Fury, I would start landing my jabs more and set up the right hand. He seems to just be kind of lunging with the right and then tying up. I'd be working that jab just like he's doing right now. Now he's starting to. A little more.
What about Deontay, if you're him?
Well, we know what Deontay wants to do. He wants to land that right hand. But look how his hands are dropped to his waist.
Yeah. And his feet are not all the way underneath him. It's like his body's leaning forward ahead of his feet, and his feet are barely catching up. You notice that when he's taking steps? Oh! Oh, 2 big rights from Wilder, though.
Yes, sir.
Fury walking right through him. Wow. It's incredible. Wilder taking his time in between punches. Fury with a double jab. Both of those got through. Smart. You were just talking about that.
Deontay is just so off balance. I don't understand how Fury is not capitalizing on that.
Still watching that right hand. He must have really hurt him.
Good stiff jab.
Fury clearly the aggressor, stalking him forward. Wilder up against the ropes. Man, what a fight. The boxing's gotten a lot better from Fury these last couple of rounds. You were talking earlier about how it was just a slugfest, right?
I honestly did not think that it would go this long at the pace they were going.
Yeah, they're at the over. It was 7.5.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raptor in New Mexico, for the super chat. $5. Who's winning? Opinions? DR, you think Fury's winning? I'd have to agree at this point.
I think Fury's edging it out for sure. Yeah, the one that looks the most in trouble, the most hurt is Deontay.
I'll tell you who's winning. Boxing fans all over the world right now and sports fans watching this like us. We're winning. Wilder's impressed me a lot tonight. He's definitely better than he was in the second fight. I'll say that.
And he's gushing blood. I mean, it says 117 to 61.
Oh, Fury with a nice 1-2 and then followed it up with a left. None of them super powerful shots, but they all connected. Wilder trying to fight off the ropes. Fury just keeps pushing him in. Using that big body, DR, all over him, just mauling him, coming in. End of the round. Ooh, these big boys are putting on a show.
Going into round 10. Are we going into round 10?
Yeah. The chat's just zipping by right now. We got so many people in there. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you here on MMA Weekly, the most trusted source in news and entertainment, MMA and combat sports for 20 years. Doing the boxing thing tonight. Fury versus Wilder 3. We've had our man in Vegas all week. You've seen the footage. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. That is David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight champ. 35 knockouts in his career. Blessed to have him on board tonight. What are they telling Tyson Fury in the corner right now, DR? What do you think?
If I was there, I would be saying, pump that jab, create distance, crash that right hand, followed up with a hook. I haven't seen one follow up from the right after the right hand with a hook. You know, he needs a double up on his jab. He's only throwing one jab at a time. Throw a double jab. Throw a double jab. Come back with that right hand, and then get back on the jab again. Create more space and then land a big bomb on Deontay. Throw a
Thanks
double
again.
jab.
A double jab. I saw some more super chats in there. Thank you, guys. I don't have time to read them because they're going by so fast. We got a ton of people in that chat right now. Round 10 of 12 between these monsters in there. You got 500 pounds plus worth of man in there at 6'7" and 6'9". Fury landing big shots. Wilder trying to fight off, hits a left. Man, Deontay Wilder has taken a lot of punishment in these last couple of rounds.
I'm going to tell you this right now. After this fight, neither of these men are ever going to be the same again. They'll never be the same.
Ugh, I hate hearing that. Part of the sport, I know.
Deontay, I believe, is taking the bigger shots.
The more punishment, you mean, right?
Yeah, the bigger shots by Fury, yeah.
Although he did drop him twice with bombs in the fourth. But Fury is throwing a lot of punches right now. His output keeps increasing. In his combinations, he throws a right to the body, working a left inside, just brawling, just leaning on an exhausted Deontay Wilder, trying to take whatever life is left out of him and just like leaning on him and trying to land on the way out.
Deontay is, I mean, he just looks so taxed. He looks done. All that muscle, I was telling you, all that muscle. All that, boom.
Oh, he's going down. Big right from Fury.
Yep.
Oh, that was into, Wilder gets right up. He's got a ton of heart, man. Ton of heart. His face is starting to look really beat up now, too, DR. Swelling shut.
Fury's going to turn it up, and Deontay's probably going to throw a haymaker right hand while he comes in, I would imagine. Boom, boom, boom.
Under a minute. Wilder's hands really dangerously low right now. Not really defending himself much. Whew. He's absorbed 133 shots tonight from Fury. 6'9", 280, almost 80 pounds, Fury. And he's exhausted, is Wilder. A lot of clinching going on here. The ref keeps stepping in to separate him.
Fury can't rush in either because Deontay still remains dangerous.
Oh, he just hit him with a big right, DR.
Beautiful.
And Fury with a right on the way out. Woo. Chin music. Both guys getting tired now. Who wants it more? And we still have 2 more rounds. Potentially. Wilder with a combo. Where is he getting this from? Wow. Deontay Wilder finishes the round with a flurry.
Deontay finishes the round with a flurry after that kind of exhaustion. This is just incredible.
Wow. I just have to say, so much respect to both these incredible fighters. Wilder got knocked down by a right from Fury.
Look, it took his legs off him. He hit him so hard, his legs came out from under him. Wow. This is
Fury immediately put his arms up. And
probably one of the best heavyweight championship fights I have ever seen in my life. This lived up to all expectations and then more.
Damn. And Wilder hit him about 4 times at the end of the round.
Now we're going
Fury's
into the
championship rounds. And Fury's face not marked up much at all. Wilder's got some swelling under the eyes, got some blood. Now the money line odds back up to minus 3,000 for Fury, plus 1,300 for Wilder. Odds makers feeling like Fury's got a great chance to finish it right now.
Right.
139 punches landed for Fury, including that right there, 140.
What a shot.
Whew.
Oh, beautiful shot.
Fury throwing jabs. Oh, another right. Tyson Fury emptying the tank and the clip right now.
I don't understand why Fury can't land 2 consecutive shots. I don't understand. He lands one. Boom. There goes Deontay. It looks like he's out.
Oh, that might be it.
That's it.
That might be it.
That is it.
150. Fury up on the ropes. Is that it?
That's it. They called it.
They called it. Wow, that was a big shot from Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder's up.
That's
He's
it for
done.
Deontay. He had the heart. I've never seen such amazing heart of a lion. Nothing. I can't take anything away from Deontay. What a lion. What a lion. Both men to me are just amazing champions. You can't take anything away from Deontay. Obviously, Fury is the champion, but Deontay Wilder, what heart, man. He has nothing to be ashamed of. I just hope he's okay after this fight.
Yeah, me too. He took a lot of punishment, DR. A lot of punishment.
He did. He needs to go to the hospital. He needs to get checked out. He needs to think, we need to see he's okay. Nothing, can't take away. I hope he quits boxing after this. This was a lot of punishment to take. He can enjoy his life now, relax. He's given the sport so much. Thank you, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and he's bleeding from the ear again, bleeding from the lips. His eyes are swollen. Fury looks pretty good. He did get knocked down twice, Tyson Fury. He did take a bunch of big shots, but man, I don't see the official time yet. This is unbelievable. What an incredible night of boxing and just a heavyweight slugfest, man. Just your immediate thoughts as that one just finished, man, of what we just saw here for 10-plus rounds between these two champions.
This will go down as one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights in history. This was, there was no this was not a technical fight by any means. It was a Hagler-Hearns for 11 rounds.
That's high praise, saying Hagler-Hearns.
No, it was a Hagler-Hearns type fight for 11 rounds. Think about that. I just said that. This was a rock'em sock'em dead, amazing fight.
And they're heavyweights. That's the thing that blows my mind, that you would say Hagler-Hearns, because that kind of output for heavyweights is crazy.
Yeah, and that's what we just saw. We just witnessed that. Just a slugfest beyond epic proportions. Amazing.
Tyson Fury's exhausted too. He looks okay though. Fury looks all right. He doesn't look like he's hurt too bad. He took some big shots. I can't believe Wilder made it as long as he did. I can't believe he was able to take that many shots from Fury, absorb that kind of punishment, stay out of the way of those. Like you said, he could never seem to connect that second time. And that last right that got him was just probably the seventh one of the fight that just got him flush, man. Perfect shot.
And you got to think, he I believe, he may have felt it helped him, but I feel the muscle mass was too much for him. He didn't have the zing, the Cobra right hand he usually has, although he did land 2 big shots on Fury and put him down, but he didn't have that knockout zing that he usually has in his fights. But not taking anything away from me, it was an amazing fight, man. I believe every fan has got their money's worth.
Man, this is great. This is really great. And the sport overall, David, needed this. Here's the shot from Fury. Wound up, hit a big right to the body, came back with a left jab that missed, and then bam. Oh, right on the side of the jaw.
it's just too much punishment. It's just too
Had
much
him up against the
punishment.
ropes and hit him again. And that wasn't the one that finished it, though. Where's the one that finished it?
That one was this.
There it is. Oh,
One.
wow. That right. Oh, my God.
That
DR,
is
what are you
going to be
seeing there?
living. That punch right there is going to live with Deontay the rest of his life.
Oh. Boom.
I can only hope that he gets checked out and everything's okay. He needs to get medical attention immediately.
That was a big, big shot from Tyson Fury. Flush on the side of the cheek of Deontay Wilder. Man.
Wow.
And
wow.
Fury's going to have some interesting stuff to say here now for sure. The chat's going crazy. Fury the King. Yes,
Yep.
he is. And now we want to see we have to. I mean, we got to see Fury next up, man. Like you said, I mean, it's got to be, because you think about what's going on in the division right now and what everybody wants to see. It's got to be Fury and Usyk. It's got to be. Here it is again, DR. Oh,
wow. It's a vicious, vicious, vicious right hand.
a walk-off for sure for Fury. He knew it right away.
Boom. The uppercut, short, little right uppercut, right over right on the ear. Uppercut again, places his head just in the right position, and then bam.
How about Fury, though, able to turn Wilder around as Wilder was pushing Fury into the corner to be able to reverse that, showing you how important the clinch is. Wow.
What a fight. That is what boxing needed.
And Lennox Lewis going crazy.
I haven't seen Lennox go crazy for any fight ever.
Fury sprinted over to the corner and stood right up like a giant, raising those gloves up in the air.
Wow.
Monster of a man. I mean, anybody who didn't give Fury his ultimate respect coming into this fight, you have to now. There's absolutely no question who the best in the world is.
Absolutely. Nail in the coffin right there for Deontay. But you can't take anything away from Deontay. He came to fight, man. What an amazing champion. What an amazing heart.
Came close in the fourth, dropped him twice.
Yeah. Wow.
110 of the 11th round officially. 31-0-1 with 22 knockouts for Fury, and finishes in the last two of these fights in this trilogy.
Man, you can't take anything away from Deontay. There's nothing else for Deontay to prove, there's just that's it. He doesn't need to do anything more in boxing. He's, to me, in my opinion, he's a champion. Go out on your shield. Call it a day, Deontay. You did great.
Wow. What a fight. I mean, I'm almost speechless from watching that. That was an incredible fight. Into the 11th round.
All the way, that went longer than I expected it. Went a lot longer than I expected it to.
I'm tired after that. I'm exhausted from that.
That was a great.
That's a long night. Fury with the belts around his shoulders, doing his interview in the ring right now. What a performance by Tyson Fury.
Beautiful performance. Not much boxing. He did set, it was a very physical fight, but hey, the fans got what they wanted, and this is one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights I've ever seen.
And for those of you who have never been to Vegas for a big fight, I mean, it's kind of tough to beat the old MGM Grand Arena when all the fans would come out directly into the casino, and it would be like literally mayhem trying to get through there. little different with T-Mobile Arena, but when that arena empties out and Vegas just pops to life, it's just crazy, man. It's going to be a big night in Sin City, especially
Oh
for
yeah,
Tyson Fury. And what did he make? I
absolutely.
mean, he made 8 figures. I don't know what his exact payday was. Do you?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the exact purse is, but I'm sure it's astronomical. It's amazing.
Yeah, off the pay-per-view buys, and it's an $80 pay-per-view too. You know, I mean, the last like a Conor McGregor pay-per-view I think was 59, maybe 65. It's a 79.99 pay-per-view. That's up
Wow,
there. So I'll be anxious to see where this falls.
this was an amazing fight, man. What that was worth every dollar, every penny. Yeah.
Hey Wilder, what is your excuse now? I know you're gonna go there, man. I mean, like he doesn't have one, I'm sure, but I mean, he fought a hell of a fight against an incredible champion and came up short. That'd be what I would say
Yeah,
happened to
I would
Deontay
say
Wilder
I
tonight.
would take my hat off to Wilder if I was Fury.
So
I
much
would take
heart.
yeah.
I don't know what he's saying. I wish we could hear, but I guess I'll watch it after and we'll get it going. But man, what a night. Thank you guys for being in the chat all night long and hitting us up. Any final questions or thoughts for David Nino Rodriguez or me as we wrap it up here in just a couple of minutes? I want to hear from you guys one more time in the chat. Anything you want to ask us, anything you want to add, now's the time. Where's your excuses, you Wilders? Joshua glad he lost now. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't see Joshua lasting as long as I wouldn't
No,
see Joshua lasting as long as Deontay did. I'll tell you
no,
that.
not even. No way. No way.
What about Usyk?
You know, there's a lot of questions with Usyk, but like I said, if Fury could walk away today, and I think everyone would say he'd go down as one of the greatest heavyweights in history. If he wants to seal his legacy, then go beat Usyk. That's the way I
Fury's
see it.
singing, DR.
Oh
He's
yeah, I can
singing. He said he was going to sing. He's singing. Wow.
he's
He
a
knows how to
character, man.
finish up a show, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to be
Gotta
at a lot
give
of the celebrity events coming up, man. The award shows. It's going to be a good year for Tyson Fury the rest of the way through.
Oh yeah.
What's next for Fury? Oliver wants to know, DR. What's next for Fury?
It's got to be Usyk.
Gotta
It's
be.
got to be Usyk. Got to be. That's the only way to go. That's the fight everyone's going to want to see. Only to see Tyson unify all the belts and then right off into the sunset. Hopefully.
Another guy wanted to know, thank you for the stream. You're welcome, Neil. I appreciate that. Another guy wanted to know, is there enough steam left in this for a fourth fight? I would say probably not,
No
right?
way. No, this is it. This is done. Nothing left to prove for either fighters. And both fighters took such a toll. They both left something in there in this fight, and it changes them for the rest of their lives. Let me put it that way.
There's only one Tyson Fury. Yes, gaming legend, there is only one Tyson Fury. And the boxing world thanks him right now, man. The boxing world
Absolutely.
needed a guy like him. They needed this run from Tyson Fury. It needed this trilogy. It needed this night, man. DR, let's get your thoughts on that. What this fight and this trilogy did for the sport that you love so much.
It brought life back to boxing, and it needed it. It was like a defibrillator to the heart. And the spotlight is back on boxing. Boxing, is like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, and right now it's up again. So thank you, Fury.
And you got Canelo and Plant coming up. Ryan Garcia's got a fight coming up.
But ain't nothing like the heavyweights, baby.
No, nothing like tonight. What do you think a matchup between AJ and Wilder look like now?
That's actually interesting. I would hope Wilder walks away. To be honest with you, I would like to see Wilder. I'm only saying that because of his health. I'd like to see him live a full and complete life. He took a lot of punishment in this fight with Fury, so I don't think he needs to fight anymore. If you want my honest opinion.
No, and just looking at, as you were saying that, I was looking down at the fight that I still have the stream on, and to see his wife's face when he got knocked out and finished. I mean, just that's a look I'll never get used to seeing. I've seen it on a lot of MMA fighters' wives, and that's just something that stays with you, man. You don't ever escape that image.
No, it's horrific. I remember when I used to fight, just going into the ring, I wouldn't look at my family. My family would all be in the first row, and I wouldn't even look at them because they looked like they were at a funeral. They looked like, like these devastated looks on their faces, and I just would never even look at them.
Wow.
What a fight.
That's the real side. I mean, it's a dangerous sport, man. There's no two ways about it. That's the real side of it. That's the human side. That's the one we love. It's the gladiators for sure. But they are human, and they are taking a lot of punishment that's going to, come into play later on in their lives. And how much they take now, like you said, you made the comment, I think it was in the 5th round, you said neither guy's ever going to be the same after this fight.
No, you always leave something in there. Every great fight takes something out of you. And I just hope that I'm glad they both left with their lives, but it's yet to be determined, as these guys reach their late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, early 50s, how this is going to impact them.
Unbelievable, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm almost at a loss I'm almost speechless here, man, as we wrap this up.
This was an epic fight. This is I couldn't agree more that this was one of the best trilogies boxing has ever seen.
You know what? I think we got our guy Kendrick on site there. And Scott, if you have Kendrick, of course we can bring him on. He's been feeding us this content all week. He's there tonight. Be curious to get his thoughts on what the building felt like, and his thoughts to wrap it up if we still have Kendrick Johnson on site for MMA Weekly. I don't know if you can hear me with that, Scott. I just saw your text. I was a few minutes late on that.
Yeah, what a fight. Yeah, that was incredible.
Let's see. You guys wow me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So what excuses Americans got this time? I don't think so. Joshua is overrated. He's decent. Mayweather's still undefeated and richer than Fury, so we still win. Apparently there's a TMT guy there. Thank you, Robert, for the super chat. Salute to Tyson Fury for a fantastic performance. Wilder showed a lot of heart, but Fury, the true champion. Levi says, let's go, Brandon. We got a bunch of super chats coming through still. Thank you guys very much.
Let's go, Brandon. I love it.
We got that going on. Tyson Fury defeats Deontay Wilder in round number 11. Love him or hate him, Wilder showed heart and guts to stay for 11 rounds. Mad respect for him. I agree with you, Blake. Great 100%. Comment in there. Great stream. Enjoy your night. Thank you. We wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. Chris M says Canelo and Fury both have the spirit of a fighter and the heart of a champion. I agree there. No matter how much heart Wilder has, which happened to be a ton, Fury just had a little bit more. You can't disagree with that.
No, you can't.
He's had it throughout his life. Wow. Wilder looks so tired.
Yeah.
Yep. Fury has brought boxing back. What do you think of that, DR?
Yeah, I believe he has. I think he has. It's right in the forefront where it needs to be, and hopefully it stays.
And it has to be a heavyweight champion with a magnificent. It has to be. It has to be to get that max effect.
Yeah, that was an incredible fight. Incredible.
Man. I don't think we have our guy. We might need to wrap this up. We're getting close to the end of the night here.
Yeah,
what a night in the chat.
He's
Go
not
ahead, Scott.
Yeah, he's not available. He's chasing down celebrities. So
he's been chasing down a lot all week, man. We appreciate you, Kendrick Johnson, for the work you've done for us. Appreciate you too, Scott. What a night.
Yeah, it's been fun. You guys have done great. It's been it's been great on the back end, just listening to you guys, and thanks to you, Nino, for coming on and giving the expertise and that fighter, vision, what these guys are going through.
Thank you for having me. Anytime there's another big heavyweight championship fight, let me know.
Definitely.
Brock Lesnar says Wilder skipped leg day, but he gave us $2 to say it. So thank you, Brock. DR, I got to tell you, man, thank you for doing this for me. We've been buddies a long time. We did it on national TV before. Now we're doing it all over the world on the stream. So hopefully we get to do this again soon. I really appreciate you doing it, and just making my life easy tonight and so much better. So I just want to say thanks to you, man. And I know on behalf of everybody in that chat room, loved having you here, giving that wisdom.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure. And thank you, Jim, for inviting me. Hopefully we can do it live and in person someday again.
That was the night of all nights, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Across the country and the world on beIN Sports from Laredo, Texas, July 2018. Nino, and being with you in Texas, man, I mean, I got to say, like, no covers anywhere, no lines, no nothing. I could get used to that.
Texas, baby. Oh, yeah. Texas is my home.
That's David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight champ. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. Want to say thank you to all of you for watching us here tonight, blowing up that chat room, all your super chats, all the numbers. Keep going back to MMA Weekly. Stay on the social media, Instagram, Facebook. We are blowing up. It's a takeover. The most trusted source of news and entertainment in mixed martial arts and combat sports for over 20 years is MMA Weekly, the largest independently owned combat sports website in the world. Big UFC fights coming up every week. They're going back to Fight Island coming up soon, and then you got the big one on November 6th from Madison Square Garden. Usman and Covington 2 will be here every week, coming to you live. Of course, all kinds of content, interviews, and so many more things right here on MMA Weekly. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you. Once again, sports fans, Tyson Fury with the knockout of Deontay Wilder in round number 11 with a vicious right hand. We'll talk at you again soon. Until then, keep your game tight and your mind right, fans. We are out.